Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Here we go. Here we go. TruCrime Cafe. Kicking the door, peel back the day. Seeking that truth. Only do it his way. Notes on the napkin, red string on the case. Looking for justice. Can't see it real clear. Screens full of static, but the trail's right here, pointing at the weirdness. Zoom, don't blink. Hey, look, it's right there. You closer than you think. Yeah. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Breaking down the crazy. Put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Yeah. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. No wheels. Yeah, no wheels. Mic on the counter, files on the floor. Walk me through the timeline, then we ask once more. Side-eyeing every story, every hole, every gap. If the glove don't fit, then we redraw the map. From the cold case corners to the heat of the stand, he break it all down, so you finally understand. Clock on the wall, but the grind don't stop. Justice ain't blind, it just been cropped. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. True crime, breaking down the crazy. Put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Here we go. Yeah. Hey. Here we go. Here we go. TruCrime Cafe. Kicking the door, peel back the day. Seeking that truth. Only do it his way. Notes on the napkin, red string on the case. Looking for justice. Can't see it real clear. Screens full of static, but the trail's right here, pointing at the weirdness. Zoom, don't blink. Hey, look, it's right there. You closer than you think. Yeah. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Breaking down the crazy. Put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Yeah. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Yeah, no wheels. Mic on the counter, files on the floor. Walk me through the timeline, then we ask once more. Side-eyeing every story, every hole, every gap. If the glove don't fit, then we redraw the map. From the cold case corners to the heat of the stand, he break it all down, so you finally understand. Clock on the wall, but the grind don't stop. Justice ain't blind, it just been cropped. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. True crime, breaking down the crazy. Put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels.
All right. Welcome back, you guys. I'm sorry. We've had all sorts of weird things going on over here today. Connection issues, StreamYard, YouTube, all sorts of stuff. So my apologies for everything being so offhanded. Thank you for joining us today, guys. We are delving into part 2 of what we looked at yesterday with Bethany's analysis and some more, quite a bit more, actually, to discuss all that kind of stuff. Thank you for being here. Please make sure when you come through the door to hit the like button, share it out, and let everybody know what we're doing in here, guys. Come on in, get off them feet, grab a seat, grab your cup, and fill it up. Let's do this thing. Here we go. Here we go.
Rolling up on the scene. Dago's got that stare red light on the screen. Pouring up truth every damn day. Names, faces, dates, he don't look away. Pin maps, cold files on the wall. String runs tight from the big shots, his halls. You feel that chill when he says that name. Someone's shadow, someone's shame. True Crime Cafe, he's serving the proof. Hot cup of pain, cold steel of the truth. Seeking justice, seeking reality. Voice for the voiceless, he speaks for the street. True Crime Cafe, every single day. Pulling on the threads till they all give way. Corruption in the veins, he's calling it out. No way, no peace till justice is found. Backroom deals under neon signs. He reads one line, then follows the lies. Crack tape, low sound. He can hear that bleed. Somebody out there, come remember me. He don't blink when the story gets dark. He just digs deeper, strikes that spark. You'll hear that rage rotting under his breath. Every question a dare, every pause a threat. True Crime Cafe, he's serving the proof. Hot cup of pain, cold steel of the truth. Yeah. Seeking justice, seeking reality. Voice for the voiceless, he speaks for the street. True Crime Cafe, every single day. Pulling on the threads till they all give way. Corruption in the veins, he's calling it out. No way, no peace till justice is found. No way, no justice. No use in the lies. He tears down the curtain, looks dead in their eyes. Whoa! You feel that verdict rising inside your chest. Till the guilty confess. Till the broken can rest. True Crime Cafe, he's serving the proof. Hot cup of pain, cold steel of the truth. Seeking justice, seeking reality. Voice for the voiceless, he speaks for the street. True Crime Cafe, every single day. Pulling on the threads till they all give way. Corruption in essence, he's burning it down. No way, no peace till justice is found.
The darkest stories are served here.
Welcome back, guys. Great to see you today. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you for joining us. It is a hump day, I think it is. Yes, today is Wednesday, I do believe. Let me look to make sure I am correct. Yes, it is the 10th of June already. Yikes. Moving by quickly. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to jump into part 2 of what we covered yesterday to see what else we can learn from Miss Bethany, and then some other stuff as well, as we usually do. We'll throw the link in here for anybody that wants to join me, as I always do as well, to be able to discuss their thoughts, feelings, opinions, and theories, because of course I enjoy hearing that from all of you. Everybody's voice is important as far as I'm concerned, and I like to hear them all. So come on in, grab a seat, sit down if you can. So, who do we have in here with us today? It's me, lady. Good to see you. Tiki Bar. Always happy to have you here. Miss Rowe, welcome back. Great to see you. Moto Man in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Blue Eyed Butterfly, welcome back to you. Always awesome to see you, Blue Eyed. As well as G Bean. And Eddie's in the house. One made nut. Great to see you, brother. Mikey's in the house with the last 24. Great to see you, bud. Miss Tammy, wonderful to see you back here. Lisa Winchester, you as well. Ms. Rowe, welcome, welcome, dear. Good to see you. Sweet Pea, welcome back to you. Great to have you here today. Beach Babe, welcome. Good to see you today. Thank you for that. Let's see. Dog Mom, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Rubik's Cube number 3. Good to see you. Welcome back to you. Oh, Candy girl. Good to see you, dear. Oh, that was horrible. Can you tell I'm getting older? Can't even sing anymore, you guys. It's pitiful. Jen Seven's in the house. Good to see you, Miss Jen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us as always. Thank you to my moderators that are here. Miss Tandy's in the house. Great to see you, Miss Tandy. Minnie Gillian, welcome to you. Thank you for the mods again that are here with us today, doing their thing, taking time out of their day. Some of them coming in here from their own jobs to do this. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so very much. Debbie Denny, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. Baby Ames, great to see ya. G Bean, wonderful to see you, dear. Let me see. Sleuther75 slid on in here. I didn't even see her. Good to see you, Sleuther. Thank you for being here. Miss Becca, welcome back to you. And let me hit the bottom down here. Becca, welcome to you. Sleuther starting off already. Good Lord have mercy. Jeez. Moonflower, wonderful to see you, Miss Becca. Miller Time's in the house. Great to see you, Miller Time. Miss Margaret, wonderful to see you today. And Miss Miller Time dropped some stuff too already. Jeez. I'm not even done talking. You guys are already being so generous and grateful. Let me see. Miss Molly, good golly almighty, the videographer in the house. Molly. Good to see you, dear. Let me see. Sweet Pea. I think Miller Time dropped some too. Real quick, let's see who Miss Sleuther dropped. It looks like she dropped 10 new memberships already. Canadian Nana, Lance Chrisfield, welcome to you, to the Sauce Toe Tag. Cheryl Deland, Crystal Burgett, Lenore 144. You can't smell me. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Mags, the social butterfly. Good to see you. Melissa Duvall, Barbara Monder. Welcome to all of you guys, and thank you so much for joining us here in the Sauce. And right before that, I didn't see it fast enough. Miller Time dropped 5, which absolutely amazing. Thank you, Miller Time, for that. And those went to Connie Taylor, Cat Farm 42-1, Tweety 6144, Tina Marie. Congrats to all of you guys, as well as Christopher Bond. 15 up. Oh man, somebody dropped more already right after that. Who did it now? Was it you again? Nope. It looks like that one came from Moto. Bam, there they are. Moto Man dropping them as well, coming on in the door behind everybody else and slinging these memberships. Amazing stuff, you guys. Where did yours drop at, Moto? There they are. And that looks like Clee 4 to 75. Lady Creations, Mr. Steal Your Tupperware. Uh-oh. Hold on to that Tupperware, everybody. 12 Happy Paws. Cute Lashes. Crazy Cutie. Angelina. FL 2427. Bootsy. Aaliyah Hawani. Delina 202. Angelina 202. 202. Oh my God, I can't talk. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Wow. 25 new meatballs already, and I'm not even into the show, like, even a full 10, 15 minutes already, you guys. That's crazy. Thank you so much to all three of you, Miller Time, Miss Luther, and Moto Man, dropping these memberships. You guys rock and roll. Appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gen 7, let me see. Did somebody else jump in here? Karen Folkwest, great to see. Nanacal, welcome to you. Bridgentile, I think. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And welcome, welcome, welcome. And it looks like we got our first guest already today. Mr. Moto himself joining us. There he is. Welcome, bud. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Dago?
It is going. It's going, it's going. How you doing?
It's been a crazy day. It's probably gonna continue staying crazy, but it's under control.
Why change it if it's running that way? Just do your thing until it's over, and then you can start it all over again. You know
Yeah,
that
well, I
stuff.
got a tech car coming, so I'm expecting about 20 calls in the
Oh,
next
boy.
couple hours.
That's just wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, hopefully you get through it with no fail. You can end it soon and start all over again tomorrow, and it won't be as bad, hopefully.
As long as I'm drinking beer on the weekend, that's all that counts.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing. The one and only Mert, congrats. Welcome to the source. Great to have you here. Forget about it. And guys, we are 30. Hear me, 30 members, 30 subscribers away from hitting 13,000. That's it, 30. 30. That's awesome. Kiss Me, wonderful to see you. Jesse Schul in the house, good to see you. Thank you for being here. SR Bubbles, welcome back to you. Maybe she will. I doubt it, but hey, let's do it. Of course, and if she does show up, she will be treated with respect, whether you agree or disagree with her, because that's how we do things here. But we will be respectful as long as she is, of course. I probably went a little too far yesterday. I'll be honest with you. I feel bad after I say and do things. I was angry yesterday. I was irritated yesterday because I don't go around calling people names. I don't go around dragging people, so on and so forth. But when they do it to me, and I'm getting messages sent to me where people are telling me this person's calling you dumb and stupid and saying this and talking about my family, I'm gonna get angry. Okay, so I don't usually call out people on their appearance. I just don't do that. But I did. I regretted it to some extent. But I don't usually do it, and I took it a little too far. Only because, and I don't know if anybody has said anything to about it. If she has responded to it, I shouldn't do that, guys. Because in my opinion, as I sat and thought about it all night last night, I feel like I'm no better than that person by doing that. So I probably shouldn't have done that. But again, I was angry and I just reacted the way I reacted. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So bees it. Whatever. I don't even go over there to look. And that's what I do. I don't bother with her stuff. I don't mind what she does. I don't care what she does. It's her business. So just, stay out of my business. God. It's ridiculous. I know. That's my point. But it doesn't make me any better than that person if I'm just doing the same thing. That's how I feel at this point. But the thing is when when somebody makes me angry, I hold my temper best I can. The best I can. But when you get it repeatedly thrown at you and you get punched in the face for lack of virtually, I'll just say it that way, multiple times, at some point you're going to respond. So I acted somewhat childish, I guess you could say, when I did that. And I feel like I stooped to that level. And I'm better than that. and so are all the rest of us. So I'll just say that. I don't regret it, but I probably shouldn't have done it. I'll just put it that way, if that makes any sense to you guys. That's all I'm saying. And I would probably do it again, depending on how how I was approached. It's just one of them things. Men have mouths, and I'll be honest with you. It's like a hot pepper, folks. Being Italian doesn't help either. I'll tell you that. So that's a fact. In the house that I was raised in, buddy. Oof. My grandmother, I'll tell you what, she was the one that usually did that kind of stuff. It wasn't me. And I treat everybody with respect. That's the thing that I think that bothers me the most. I respect about even people I don't like or disagree with. I still respect them normally. And then when I'm getting things thrown at me, like people saying how dumb you're dumb and you're stupid and this is what I've been told about you. And it's like, really? Okay. Maybe I'm not the smartest person in the world. That's fine. But the things I'm speaking on are things that I'm reading and things we're hearing with our own ears. It's not just me.
My dad always said that, if you want to get people back to worse, you just kill them with kindness.
That's what I've always done. That's a fact. Same way I was. You can ask most people. Some of my mods were like, dude, you're a little too kind. Like, I'd have been done doing this and you need to, things like that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, it'll probably happen again. But I shouldn't have done it because it doesn't make me any better. That's how I see it. It just doesn't make me any better. After I thought about it all night, I was like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
regardless.
you can't let those people get to you, though. You got to just brush them off.
That's it right there. The funny thing is I've been out here for years, and I usually had pretty thick skin. But I think what got to me is that I see this person attacking everybody, okay? People that I think that I have a lot of respect for, and I think that's what kicked me off the most. It doesn't bother me so much as me, because I've had people come at me for years. And my skin is pretty thick, but I've seen him go at people like Logan from Bronx Tales. I have a lot of respect for Logan. We work together. Okay. I've seen her say things about Kim. I have a lot of respect for Kim. We work together. Pavarotti. I highly respect Pavarotti. I have Lana. I respect Lana. All the people that I've seen being attacked by this person, I have respect for all of them. That's, I think, what kind of had me already sitting on that edge, and then hitting me with that, ping, it just kicked me over. That's all I'm saying. And then after the fact,
it's too bad that she's disrespecting. A lot of these people are very respectful people.
Right.
So you know what? It's unfortunate that she's jealous that obviously they have something that she doesn't.
Yeah, kindness is one for sure, and respect from other people. That's the other one. And then because my moderators and quite a few other people tried to go and make a stand for me, to take my side on this, which we shouldn't. You guys don't have to do that. I don't want there to be sides and all that because we're already divided enough. But I understand, and I fully appreciate it by all means. Then she's attacking them and calling them names out of their name. We don't do that out here, guys. I don't know who the hell does that or why you think it's okay to call somebody another woman the bitch. I don't even like saying that. Okay, it's highly disrespectful. I saw that and many other things being stated. You don't do that.
Diego, fortunately, karma's a bitch.
And bingo, sir. Thank you for saying it because I fully believe in absolute karma. And when it comes, I don't want to be standing next to you is all I got to say. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. Karma's real, folks, and she ain't no joke. And when she bites you in the ass, you better go get a tetanus shot because it's going to be bad. That's all I can say, especially when you treat people that way. And you do the types of things that have been being done when you attack people's families and their personal life. Okay. And especially telling lies. Like, I've never presented my children as being perfect or saying that they're better than this person or that person. I've only talked about truly one of my children, which is my youngest one, and he is a very good person. And he's very smart. He's autistic. We've talked about that, but he would never do something like that kind of stuff is all I've probably ever said. He would never. The rest of my children are all grown adults. heading towards 35 as the oldest one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they would do at this age or this time, this point. The child that she tried to attack was the one that I had nothing to do with for 3 years. I didn't know what he was doing. He had a drug problem, and I've told the whole world that. So whatever, keep doing your thing. I hope you're getting what you want out of it. That's all I can say. And again, I appreciate the views that I'm getting from you for you to be talking about me. So thank you. um, yeah, I'm not even going to throw her name out there and give her the joy of doing that, but it is what it is. I'm sure you guys will be able to figure it out. There's only one person really that's out in this community that is that bad. Okay. Only one that I've seen that's that bad. So it is what it is, what it is, what it is. So let's see. Did anybody else jump in? I heard everything. Welcome back, brother. Good to see ya. Skills is in the house. Pamela Smith, great to see ya. Miss Mellis, 75, welcome. Yes, I agree with that too. Mert, welcome, and welcome to the sauce, Mert. I didn't say that. Kiki Bar is in the house. Welcome back. CAO Kane, welcome, dear. Kiss Me Where I Pee, great to see you. Thank you, and yes, very much so. Without even really knowing anything, you know. Somebody on my comment page said that instead of explaining why she's wrong, which I've done it multiple times, I've proven multiple times why I believe she's wrong, and I've listened to her side of things. I don't agree with it, and I left it alone at that point. I never attacked her for her feelings on things, but I guess you attack other people if that's who you are. I mean, the Snarky P. Hello, Snarky. Great to see you. I love your avatar. It's really awesome. Thank you, Tammy, and I really appreciate that, and all of everybody. I mean, I've not seen such a rally from so many people yesterday. You guys are just truly and honestly the beautiful people. Thank you so very much for your loyalty to my channel, to myself. The way you guys stand by me, the love that you guys show means everything to me. It really does, guys. I can't even tell you. My heart nearly exploded from it yesterday. It was so much. So thank you so very much. I truly do, honestly, and love, wholeheartedly love you guys and appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you again for being you. Moonlit baby, good to see you. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, we got 139 people in the house today. And if there's any other creators in here, guys, be careful out here today. There's some weird things going on with YouTube and StreamYard. My stuff was all over the place. It was starting me up sooner, later, kicking me back and forth. It was crazy. So just be careful because there's some glitchy stuff going on out here.
I
For
find
sure.
StreamYard just drains the battery out of my cell phone like super quick.
Eddie said the same thing. His goes down quick too. Yeah, it's craziness, guys. And yes, like I said, let me double check to make sure I was right. I just saw somebody mention it again. Come on now. Get me over here. And right there. Yeah. I need exactly 30 subscribers for us to hit 13,000, folks. If you can help me do that, I promise you I will appreciate it forever. And thank you to all of you that have gotten me to this point. You know what I mean? At this point. ABI, welcome. Good to see you. Turkey Creek, welcome to you. Foxy Rose, great to have you here. Thank you for that. No worries. Paco, good to see you, my friend. Thank you, Ro, for that. And thank you for anybody that chooses to support us like this, whether it's Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, guys. All that stuff helps me pay for all the little thingies that I got to pay to keep doing this. Because I'm telling you, it's not cheap. I added it all up the other day, and it does get expensive. Internet, StreamYard, premium stuff, all the little apps that I have to use to create thumbnails, everything is starting to come together. It ain't cheap, and all that stuff comes due probably around the same time every month. It's crazy too. I should have done it like that, but hey, it is what it is. So thank you guys for anybody that supports us that way. We do appreciate that. And now the whatever's left after I pay the bills, it all goes towards anything that we're gonna FOIA or anything like that. It just sits in there, and I try to hang on to it and build it up so I can't do that stuff. So every bit of it goes towards this. So thank you guys very much. Karate, good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right. And again, we're being joined today by Moto. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you very much. And Luigi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. So we're going to jump back in and finish up with at least this part today of Travis T. Logic's analysis. I did. It was a great thing yesterday because of the way he broke it down. It pointed right to what I wanted to talk about. Was Bethany actually there the whole night? Was Lakeland there the whole night? All of those things I have questions about. As we were looking at things last night, we come to find out, and I have some other questions about Kennedy Fitzgerald now as well. Beth Wagner, great to see you. Michelle, thank you for that. And that new membership went to JJPP 1987. Congrats and welcome to the sauce. Pretty much Finland, great to see you today. Thank you, Beach Babe. You guys are awesome. CAO Kane, welcome. Good to see you. So, come to find out last night. Oh, look at that puppy sleeping. How cute. Just like a baby. Very, very cute. Congrats. Welcome to the sauce with us, JJ. Appreciate you. And thank you again, Michelle F., for that. God bless, hon. So yesterday we were digging around, looking through some things. I got an email sent to me because this is the person that actually discovered it. It wasn't me. It was give me 1 minute and I will tell you. Miss Karen Folquist, thank you for your, and I really appreciate anything you all send me. As creators, I believe we all do because you guys are all very helpful and we all work together doing this. And I really, truly appreciate it more than you know. Ooh, and looks like I got something from G Bean. Thank you, G. I got it. Thank you very much. But Karen Folkos, thank you very much for your info because we looked into it at that point. Moving forward with the little bit you gave us, you guys realize this case is weird. I think it was talked about a little bit over on Kim's. That Kennedy Fitzgerald is a triplet. Do you know how many multiples are involved in this case, you guys? It's wild. The Chapins, there was triplets. Kennedy, Madison, and Lauren Fitzgerald are triplets, and all three of them attended the U of I. Jenna and Zach McClure are twins. And I swear, guys, there's at least another set of twins. I've never seen this many multiples like together in one group ever. It is weird. It's very strange. Very strange. Sally Shepardson, good to see you. I mean, maybe I'm just saying that because this whole case is weird, but it was odd to see that. Great to see you, Miss Sally. So, Karen, thank you again for sending that over. We did dig into it last night, like right away. And we came up with a bunch of stuff. There's some people that have CAO said it's Mormon County or country. And Miller Time, welcome to this sauce. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, dear. 28 new meatballs joining us. That's awesome. But yeah, there's a couple people that had some questions about Kennedy because of her interview, the way it went down. And it goes against, it kind of flips this upside down, guys. It throws a wrench in the middle of everything. I heard everything. Thank you for that. Number one towards our goal for today. I appreciate your commitment to this case. I appreciate you. I appreciate you because we have differences of opinion. I heard everything and we can still go. And that's what I like about you guys is we can have these conversations and disagree on things and still appreciate each other for who we are. That's important to me. And that is why you're in this community because that's who these people are in this entire community. So thank you again. I heard everything and I appreciate you very much for that. Hey, Foxy. It's weird. Even Bethany's sister looks just. I know. Yeah, I saw that before. I mean, you can't. It's hard to tell. Beach Babe, thank you for that. Thank you to anybody that chooses to support us via the Amazon wish list. It definitely helps because it goes towards all my equipment and stuff here, and of course, coffee because the coffee keeps me moving. So, thank you for all of you that choose to support us that way too. And thank you, Beach Babe. It was amazing. Summer Jade, good to see you today. Her interview threw the biggest wrench in the timeline. It truly did. It really did. They were engaged at one time, Sally, but I don't know that they're married because when we looked into it, her name didn't change, nor do we see any kind of a license or anything that said they're married. You are welcome, my friend. Truly welcome. Dylan has twin sisters. Are you what? No way. No way. I quit YouTube if that's true. I said that last night. I said, okay, guys, this is getting a little weird with the multiples. I have twins too. I have a set of twins, and I'm like, this is just off. And I said, next thing you know, we're gonna hear Brian's got a twin brother. And I said, if that's the case, I quit YouTube. I'm done. I'm literally done. That would be insane to me. That's crazy, Sweet Pea. Eddie's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. North Carolina Mountain Man, welcome today, brother. Good to see you. Dylan has twins. Are you serious? No way. Like she has twin sisters? Meaning like she has sisters that are twins. She's not a twin. Okay. I got you. Took me a minute. I was going to say, are you telling me she's a triplet too? That would be nuts. I got you, Sweet Pea. Thank you. That's still wild, though. That is still wild. There's a lot of multiples in this area, guys. A lot. Witchy said, Witchy's in the house. Good to see Witchy. Kennedy interviews how I ended up down at Tesdale driving circuit rabbit hole. Made me question things about the timeline that I hadn't looked at. Right. Same thing we've done, Witchy. We're going to be doing a live dive in the Discord here soon in the community page, guys. We like doing that. We jump into the community voice page in there, and we all just start looking and digging and talking about everything we find and discuss. So we like doing that. So that's coming again soon here too. Make sure if you want to be there with us, you jump into that Discord, please and thank you. That way, you guys can be part of that because we do it. We need to do it more often. We just did one last week. We need to do another one here coming up soon. Oh, you're good. You don't, no worries. Good to see you, Miss Wendy. Deb Tutro, welcome. Never took Kennedy's phone. Another good point. Wonder which girl in this case has 4 brothers. That's an interesting question, Mountain Man. Interesting question. So yeah, Kennedy has 2 other siblings that is a set of triplets with her. It's Kennedy, Madison, and Lauren Fitzgerald. All 3 of them, and they're not identical. But we did find photographs of Madison, who goes by I think it's Madness on her Instagram pages and stuff like that. In the 1122 house, there's pictures of her there, and with the group in different sorts. So, interestingly enough. Sky Blue, congrats. Welcome to the Sauce, dear. Thanks for joining us. 29 new members, guys. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed to the channel and you are interested, please do. Please do. 30 more subscribers is all we need to hit 13K, guys. And I am so looking forward to that. It's been too long. I sat stalemate at 10,000 for I don't know how long. And we finally started moving again. And I just want to keep it going. I'd love to hit 20K by Christmas. That'd be awesome. That'd be a hell of a Christmas gift. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Senor said McClure has 4 brothers. Well, she has a twin. I know Zach's a twin, but she has 4 brothers in total, huh? Interesting. Jesus. Telling you. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Senator McClure's granddaughter. Really? Oh. That's an interesting piece of information. Anybody that is a senator, a governor, for somebody of importance like that, and they're related to somebody that was involved in this, I'm interested in that situation. I really am. And I'm sure you guys get why. Thank you, Labs. Looks like it went to Brigentile. Welcome to the sauce, and thank you for that one. Another donated membership. So very much appreciated, Labs. Thank you. And then Sky Blue just dropped 5 more after that. And it looks like Sergeant King, Mrs. What's It, Jeffrey Kaufman, Linda Missenery, Cheesy Wheezy. All of you guys, welcome to the sauce. We got 35 new members now. Wow. And guys, make sure that you can look, reach down at the bottom of your screen, in the bottom, very bottom of the chat. There's a circle. There's a square in it, and then there's a $sign inside that square. If you click in that, and then you go down, and you can make sure you can receive gifts, because then you can actually receive these memberships when they go out. And I still see a lot of white in here, guys. And I love the color green, and I love meatballs, as we all know. And the ladies just went out and purchased 2 big new pots so that we can have all these meatballs jump in the sauce with the rest of us. So I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to back some of this up. So I'm going to send 5 more. And one of them goes to Vicky. Vicky Order, Karen 6983, George, and Ms. Logan from Bronx Tales received one, as well as Misbehaving Necka B. Welcome to the sauce. That gives us 40. Alligato, good to see you, Miss Allie. It's been a minute. Great to see you. Again, make sure you can receive these memberships, guys. Make sure you can receive gifts from this. Because, let me see here. Since you guys are being so generous, I want to give back a little myself. And there is 5 more. That'll take us to an even 45, I think. Oh, let's see. Alligato got one. Michelle Voki. Law 18. Linda Perperia. Debbie McCarthy. All of you guys, welcome to the sauce. 45 new meatballs jumping in today, guys. 45. We've only been here 45 minutes. We got a new member per minute, guys. That's craziness. You are welcome, Allie, and welcome to the family. Bada bing. Forget about it. That's right. It's the Fugazi. All right, guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much. Welcome to all the new members. 45 new members, guys, in 45 minutes. That's insane. Guys truly are the beautiful people. Thank you all very much for your generosity, for helping, and for being part of this amazing family. We appreciate that so very much. Putting you in the mood for some spaghetti? Hey, always time for spaghetti, folks. Always time. Moto, what is your dog's name?
His name's Mozzie. There's 3 of them.
Mozzie? Like Ozzy with an M?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I love that. Mozzie. Yeah, very cute dog. Sleeping like a baby over there. Mountain Man. You're good, brother. I appreciate it either way. Number 2 towards our goal for the day. Very awesome. Very cool. Let's see. Jessie Lynn's in the house. There she is. Sorry, snapping. Wasn't having. You don't need to apologize. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate all of you guys that have stood up for me. Truly and honestly. I want you to know you don't have to do it, but I want you also to know how much I appreciate you doing it. Thank you, Jesse. Don't ever apologize for that. That proves who you guys are. I'm sorry that the name calling had to happen, Jesse, because you don't deserve that, but thank you for what you've done. Someone else who has normal dog names. Yes. No. The animal names you have are not normal. Okay? Okay, Tomboy, you know they're not. This chick, she's in mess. I love her to death. Her and Tandy, a Seahawks fan, they named their cats.
Do I even know what Tomboy's dogs' names are?
The dogs, I don't know, but the cats are a trip.
Oh, really?
She's got one cat that's named Kitty Purry. She has one that is, I always screw these up and mess them up. She'll probably fix it here in a minute, but Kitty Purry, Meowse, and Cat Benatar.
That's pretty awesome, to tell you the truth.
Yes, they are. They are. They're not normal, but they're awesome. They're awesome. I love it. Her cats are a trip. Her cats are like humans. It's weird.
I
And then
wonder
we
how
got-
many people she's flipped off today.
It's a good question. How many people have you flipped off today, Tomboy? Karma's a bitch, and I'm her karma because I ain't never claimed. That is true. That is true, Jesse. I get it. Jesse was pissed yesterday, y'all. I mean, mad, super mad, and she sure went over and made it known. That's for sure. Yeah, but Tomboy's cat's names kill me. I love the cat Benatar and the Meowse. Those ones are too funny for me. Which is probably why she likes, which I do too, Mozzie. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Summer
there's
Wind.
Mozzie, we have Lola, and then we have Daisy.
Daisy. Okay. Lola. Is Lola named after an Eric Clapton song?
Yes, it is.
Kind of figured something like that, yes. Foxy Rose in the house. Good to see you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're sumo. God bless, hon. It's hard to lose an animal. I promise you, I know it. They're just like, they're family, period. There's no two ways about it. Welcome, Tomboy. How are you? How many people have you flipped off today? Unmute it.
Actually.
Not yet? Oh, you must not have been out driving yet.
Yeah, I've been out driving since like 11.
No. Is anybody else out driving? That's the only thing that would make that make sense. If nobody else is out driving. She does not like the way people drive in Dallas at all. Let me fix this background real quick. I forgot about that again. Here we go. Sallyport, welcome. Blue Devil, good to see you. And there's Miss Kim, typically unique. JJ, thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Number 3 on our goal for today. God bless. Okay.
Moto, our dogs' names are Journey, Jersey, and Jackson.
Journey, Jersey, and Jackson?
Yeah.
So you like the letter J?
So is the middle one?
Names all start with the letter J, and their middle names are all a car. Like it's Jersey Benz. I can remember Journey and Jackson, but they're named after cars.
So is Jersey like Jersey Boys?
Jersey Boys. I love it. She must be on a delay. She doesn't respond right away. Can you hear us?
Who, me?
Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm just in crappy service area.
Oh. He asked you if Jersey is for Jersey Boys, if it follows along that line.
No, it's spelled Jersey like the shirt, Jerzee.
Oh.
Gotcha.
David
And
Bowie
Journey
and Roxy
is
Music.
Jurnee.
Okay. Welcome, Taco Body.
And Jackson is Jaxson.
And I have Alfie and Oliver. Or Alfred. My grandson named him after Batman's butler. Alfred. But we call him Alfie. And Oliver is named after the cat from Oliver and Company, the Disney movie, because my other kids, when they were younger, because he's going on 17 now. He's getting up there. That's my cat, though. Chubs and Tubs. That's hilarious. I love that. Chubs and Tubs. All right, guys. So it looks like we got 196 of you guys in here. I'm going to pick up yesterday where we left off. I think it's right there. We kind of come to the conclusion yesterday going through this, Travis did, that it seems as though when Bethany's talking about the whole situation with who was there, who was there, why they were there, what they were doing, that she was unsettled about that. She wasn't comfortable talking about it. That he believes that there was some deception there going on, so on and so forth. Fox, good to see you, Fox Reader. Um, and that she was kind of covering something up, possibly, which is what brought into question for me again if Bethany was there the whole time or not there the whole time. If she left for a period of time and came back, and I have no problem thinking that. So that's a big boy, Moonlit. 112 pounds. That's a big pity. It reminds me of Lucy's pitpopotamus. She is selective with her facts and still thinks she's. Oh, you guys, got you. Uh huh. Yes, that is all true. I see what you guys are saying. All right. Fantastic. Good to see you. I have black and ginger cats, Louis and Lestat. Love it. Especially Lestat. I love anything that, like, I love the Lestat stuff. And the one on your avatar looks like a little vampire kitty. I love it. Meow. Molly, our videographer Molly is virtually a cat. She's a human being, but she believes she's a cat. She's a trip. All right, guys, we're gonna get this kicked off here. Be safe, Allie. Are you taking off, Allie? Oh, yes. Go to your basement or whatever you got to do, Allie. Be safe, be careful, and let us know that you're okay after the fact. Please and thank you. It is that time of year. I hate it so much. There she is. There's our Molly cat, as we call her. Whenever I do something that she doesn't like, she sends me a video of a pissed off cat attacking somebody after driving to my house. A cat driving to my house. It's funny. Thank you, SRB. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the new channel, the Cafe Conspiracy channel. Plenty to come. There's a new show coming pretty soon for that. Looking forward to it. And thank you for those of you that have supported it already. Make sure to subscribe, please, guys. The subscriber number's going up. We're at like 240 something, I think, now, which is awesome. Keep it going. Keep it going. For those of you that are into conspiracy theories and all that whacked out wild stuff, you'll find it there. All right, let's get this moving. Again, thank you to Travesty Logic for putting this out, doing such a great job, and making us think. Because there's a lot to think about.
Separates I and Dylan and Lakeland. Okay. With is an indication of distance.
Oh, sorry. I got to jump forward just a little bit more.
Dylan and Lakeland. We see me and Lakeland. Okay. Don't think it's number one. Number two, given that there is unity of the three.
Almost. Hold on. Can't remember where he broke that. I remember I wrote it down, but I lost that page. There it is, I think, right there.
Logical distancing with incomplete social introductions for Dylan and Lakeland. It is very likely that this unity is what is being leaked. This unity.
Oh, I know why. I grabbed the wrong one again. 1 second. God, I'm so stupid sometimes. Give me 1 second. There's a couple versions of this where he did shorter clips of it. 1 second. Here it is. I believe this was the one. Is this the right one? No. 1 minute. I know I had it. Where's it at? Where's it at, Dago? Come on. Nope. 2 something, isn't it? I think this is it then. Nope. Wrong one again. Hold on, you guys. I'll get it. Yep, I found it. Or wait. No, I didn't. Where the hell did it go? I grabbed the wrong one twice now. One second. Please bear with me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to have the wrong. I clicked right back on the same thing I did yesterday, I thought. Is this the one? This is it. Just a second. We're almost there. Here we go. My apologies, guys. It was so far down at the bottom. That's why. So sorry. So sorry for the delay. Here we go. And it's right at the spot we left off, too.
Sensitive here. Hanging out is passive and unspecific, underscoring the sensitivity here and alerting us to deception. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we listened to this. Okay, and do you know who else was in the house at the time? No one, just us. The sergeant asks the subject a yes or no question. The subject doesn't answer this directly, underscoring the subject's sensitivity to the question. This is a bad time. We do not know exactly what at that time means exactly. Okay, he asks at that time. What at what point is in his mind? The lack of clarity of what's being asked can lead to all kinds of miscommunications and misunderstandings. Really don't like that question. The subject answers with no one, just us. She could have said things like, I didn't hear anybody else in the house or see anyone else in the house. Or when I got home, this is what I saw. And beyond seeing this, I cannot be sure. Or I don't believe anyone else was home other than us three because I heard our other roommates come in later. This is not what she's saying. She is displaying full confidence here, an almost omniscient view. She doesn't tell us how she knows this, but it seems she knows this. And she is forceful and strong about this notion. And persuasion has a need to persuade. There's a wide open door here for the possibility that there were others there at this time, whether guests or anyone part of the household, living or not living. Just here minimizes or refutes that which was in front of it. No one. Okay. And then the word us. Who is us here? The subject doesn't specify this. She wants to specify forcefully.
Hold on, guys. I don't want to change the subject, but I have a question. For those of you that have, I hate to bring this up again because it's just a waste of our time, but for those of you that have followed this person that likes to attack all of us because she doesn't like what we're saying, she said I lied again and said that she's never shown anything that proves us wrong. or she said I lied again when I said that she's never shown anything to prove those of us that have shown this wrong. That's not a lie. She's never shown any proof that goes against the fact that Dylan has told lies and that she has changed her story multiple times. She's never shown any proof. And that's all I've said. And she said she would join me on panel. I'm down anytime. Because we've listened to the interviews, we've heard the things she has stated that have been completely different from what we were told with the PCA or even in the beginning of the case. And she's changed the story from the very beginning. We were told I didn't hear anything to you can hear everything in the house. You don't think that's a change in story? You answered questions. Dylan answered questions with every answer you can give. There was no straight answers, okay? And it's been proven in those interviews that there were lies told, untruths, okay? Yeah, I just read the post, SRB. I'm sorry. So there again, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, I've never seen that person show me anything that proves what I said wrong.
You know what, Jago, why don't you just let her come up on panel and show everybody and prove everybody
I
wrong?
said it. She's welcome to. She's welcome to. Absolutely welcome to. If you can show me that what I said was wrong, we'll discuss it. Because we're listening to the interviews, guys. You guys are hearing them. I'm showing you and reading the reports.
I'd like to meet this woman and her OnlyFans page.
I don't know about that, but it's a joke to me. It's a joke. I'm not going to sit. I'm listening to. I don't understand what's so hard about this. Understand. I'm sitting here listening to with you, all of you. We listen to the interviews and you hear what this woman is saying, and all of you are saying the same thing. It's not me. That was not true. That was a lie. I'm reading reports to you and you're saying that was not true. That was a lie. And everybody's saying the same thing. So it's not that nobody's making this up. Nobody's making this up. You guys have to stop. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. That's all I've said. Show me where I'm wrong. And prove to me that I'm wrong. And we'll agree. Until that happens, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to agree with you. And I've always said this too. I'm good with people having a difference of opinion. Okay. I respect other people's opinions. I don't have to feel the same way you do. That doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. Just as much as it doesn't mean you're not a good person because we have a difference of opinion. But when you attack somebody and say they're lying, that they're bad people, that they're stupid, that they're dumb, that they're ugly, and all sorts of these other things, that's where the line gets drawn in the sand, you guys. It's insane. None of that has not. I don't know. It sounds to me like this person is looking for somebody to argue with her. I'm not going to be that guy. I have better things to do. So, anyhow, I just wanted to clarify that real quick. I'm sorry I interrupted, and on we go. That's a good point, Witchy. I'm glad you're talking about this. It's relevant. I need to pull every transcript and video of Dylan's interviews and feed them into a mapping system that lists and compares conflicting info. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. And that would be absolute proof. Okay? I know you do, Molly. I don't think I could have you up here because it would not be very nice. So moving on. I know. She's attacked everybody. I noticed it yesterday. She's attacked Logan, Pavarotti, Lana, Tommy, when Tommy was around, Birdie. Anybody that doesn't believe the same exact thing she does is no good to her. And that's just insane to me. Yes, you are sweet when you want to be sweet, Molly. I'll just let that ride. Cinderella, Ella, good to see you. She's attacked Jules. Everybody. Every single person that does not have the same opinion or that points out the problems in the case is on her list. And that's kind of a damn shame, okay? Kind of a shame. No, Molly's not a lawyer. God help anybody that. Oh God, if Molly was a lawyer, we'd all be in trouble. Hey, Miss Potts too. Yeah, you're good, itty bitty. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
You know what? Maybe she should go over and start bothering Jules and just see how well that goes for her.
She has, and Jules kind of ignores most of this stuff, just as I do, to a point where you just can't get to take much more of it. God forbid, God help her when Jules snaps back. That's all I'm going to say. God help her.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No, I agree. It's just all pathetic to me. I'm sorry. That's it. And that's all it is. And it's in the wrong genre. It's a drama channel. That's where it belongs. She promotes and causes drama. Take it to the drama community. They'll love you over there. The name is for fuck's sake, Viviana. That should tell you right there by the name. Because that's what everybody says to her. Welcome, Wellington. Good to see you. I didn't really want to put her name out because I don't want to give her that joy, but that's the channel name. Welcome, Wellington. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for number 3 or 4 towards our goal today. You're amazing. Appreciate that. Only in Idaho. Thank you, CAO. That's a good point, Snarky. She sounds extremely stunted, arrested development, emotionally and yes, very much so. Very much so. I fully agree. Miller time. Welcome, Tina Skullscar. Good to see you. Loving other habits. Good to have you here. No, you can't, Tammy. That's a fact. Oh my God, it probably does. Legal swag. Welcome. Good to see you today. Oh, we have Molly. It's no big deal. Nothing but a bottom feeder doing what they do. But anyway, I'm sorry. All right, on we go.
That there was no one else. But she doesn't specify who us is. Earlier in the statement, Lakeland left. Right? So does this mean that us here is the subject in Dylan? Again, she doesn't specify. This word us here alerts us of potential deception and concealment.
Coffee's gone.
Like mentioned earlier, we are going to be on the lookout for this. The sergeant then asks no one, just the 3 of you? Mm-hmm. The sergeant seems to have picked up on the problem here and asks for clarity. The sergeant had in mind before Lakeland had left. See? So now we get a little more clarity as to at that point means. The subject answers with an informal yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get a little more then. What happened next? Maddie and Kaylee came home from the club. Lakeland left. What happened next is a tool in investigators, law enforcement is in their bag that needs to be used all the time. I wrote that crappy. Instead of timelines and locations being the primary focus and goal of interviews like this, the subject sensitivity indications, the truthfulness of the words and sentences they use should come first. Is this person a truthful person or a deceptive person, essentially? The subject's priorities, things like that, that needs to come first. Simply allowing the subject to communicate from FAP, free editing process, until they are done detailing everything is the best way to find out so much about the subject. For if a law enforcement officer is interviewing a deceptive person and is...
Thank you so much, Janice. God bless to you, dear. I appreciate you very much. I think that might have thrown confetti into the chat, guys. Possibly. If it did, thank you so much, guys, for the goal today and all the gifting. You guys are just beyond amazing. I love you guys so very much. Super. All right, no problem, Moto. Super, super amazing. Lucy said, if you're watching, who made the decision that high heels guy is really wild, big nose, clad in black lady is a figment of Dylan's imagination? Show me the science behind that decision. Amen to that one, Lucy. Thank you. Thank you. That's the point. That's a point. Truly and honestly, did you guys hit confetti? Busted flush, welcome. Cool. Goal hit for the day. You guys rock and roll. Thank you so much. Number one goal.
Writing down timelines and locations and using those as baselines for their investigative work, they will waste precious time, and it may even lead to incorrect conclusions.
You too, Tammy.
Conclusions and poor interpretation. Oh my goodness, I'm butchering this. It may even lead to incorrect conclusions and poor interpretations of evidence, etc. There's always a time to go back and ask for clarity on things, to ask for timelines, to ask for all that. Consider this. If the subject is found to be deceptive, then the focus completely changes, and what they're looking for might be right in front of them already. Okay? I'm off my pedestal. Back to the statement. The subject had some freedom to choose where she could start here. What happened next? As much as what happened next is a good question, there wasn't clarity as to where exactly we were in the retelling of the past. Okay. So the sergeant and the subject were somewhere around the time Lakeland was there and where she left. Okay. So somewhere around there, right? We're kind of losing track of where exactly these two people are, where the sergeant is. All right. So the sergeant and the subject were somewhere around, the time Lakeland was there and where she left. Was the sergeant still thinking of the moments when Lakeland was there and he was asking what happened next after they started watching Vampire Diaries? We're not exactly sure. And the lack of clarity in this sense allows for the subject to seemingly move right on past and focus on the next scene, the arriving of Maddie and Kaylee. Okay, so I don't have this noted here, but that's another deceptive tactic here. Okay. Indicates sensitivity towards the question itself. It's a pause. Maddie, as a reminder, her very presence was concealed earlier in the statement, which was a major red flag. She is now reintroduced along with a new person, Kaylee. Kaylee is a victim and is now deceased. We're paying very close attention to how the victims are introduced to the sergeant from the subject. Kaylee is not given a complete social introduction, which is another major red flag. We are signaled that the subject has a poor relationship with all 4 victims now. An incomplete social introduction is a sign of disrespect. And I feel like I have undersold this. Okay. An incomplete social introduction is a sign of disrespect. Anytime a subject signals insulting, even very subtle insulting towards a victim, especially a deceased victim, that is a major red flag. This is understood to be leakage of guilt or guilty knowledge regarding the deceased victim. Okay. Those with guilty knowledge will very often find ways to subtly insult or disparage their victims. The subject qualifies herself here for all 4 victims. Okay. Came home is not specific in the sense that this is narrative. This is not observation. Okay. I heard Maddie and Kaylee arrive. They walked upstairs into the living room, and Kaylee watched the rest of the show with us, and Maddie went upstairs. She's not telling us anything like this. Okay. So we're on alert for scripting. Okay. Scripting here. All right. Narrative. Okay. Storytelling. Not observational telling. Not retelling the past. Not going back in experiential memory, recalling, going back into historical present tense, stuff like that. We're on high alert for scripting. From the club, this is unnecessary information. Okay. Where she says Maddie and Kaylee came home from the club. This is something that is sensitive to the subject, where Kaylee and Maddie were coming from. This may be corroborating
Welcome,
the
Belladonna.
anticipation that we sensed earlier. This is indicative that the subject was tracking where Kaylee and Maddie were before they came home. Okay. Lakeland left early.
Let's play that part back one more time. Listen to this again closely.
Conclusions and poor interpretations of evidence, etc. There's always a time to go back and ask for clarity on things, to ask for timelines, to ask for all that. Consider this. If the subject is found to be deceptive, then the focus completely changes, and what they're looking for might be right in front of them already. Okay? I'm off my pedestal. Back to the statement. The subject had some freedom to choose where she could start here. What happened next? As much as what happened next is a good question, there wasn't clarity as to where exactly we were in the retelling of the past. Okay? So the sergeant and the subject were somewhere around the time Lakeland was there and where she left. Okay, so somewhere around there, right? We're kind of losing track of where exactly these two people are, where the sergeant is. All right. So the sergeant and the subject were somewhere around, the time Lakeland was there and where she left. Was the sergeant still thinking of the moments when Lakeland was there and he was asking what happened next after they started watching Vampire Diaries?
Welcome, Chris.
We're not exactly sure. And the lack of clarity in this sense allows for the subject to seemingly move right on past and focus on the next scene, the arriving of Maddie and Kaylee.
Now listen to this close.
So I don't have this noted.
This is interesting, very interesting, and he's just getting this from without any prior knowledge, because that's how Travis has been doing this. He goes into this without any prior knowledge, judgment, anything. Listen to what he just says here.
But that's another deceptive tactic here. Okay. Indicates sensitivity towards the question itself. It's a pause. Maddie, as a reminder, her very presence was concealed earlier in the statement, which was a major red flag. She is now reintroduced along with a new person, Kaylee. Kaylee is a victim and is now deceased. We're paying very close attention to how the victims are introduced to the sergeant from the subject. Kaylee is not given a complete social introduction, which is another major red flag. We are signaled that the subject has a poor relationship with all 4 victims now. An incomplete social introduction is a sign of disrespect. And I feel like I have undersold this. Okay. An incomplete social introduction is a sign of disrespect. Anytime a subject signals insulting, even very subtle insulting towards a victim, especially a deceased victim, that is a major red flag. This is understood to be leakage of guilt or guilty knowledge regarding the deceased victim. Okay. Those with guilty knowledge will very often find ways to subtly insult or disparage their victims. The subject qualifies herself here for all 4 victims.
For those of you that aren't familiar, this is Travis T Logic, new channel. He does statement analysis. He does not express himself as an expert, but has learned from an expert. So you take it for what you want. He does an amazing job at it, and he points out things that it's amazing. This portion of this is very important to me, you guys. If you haven't heard this, you need to hear this because this makes a whole lot of amazing points. Welcome, Mama D and Rosie Rizal. Good to see you guys. Yeah, the deletion is very telling. Truly and honestly, Micro, yes. And basically, that's showing, like you just said, it's showing absolute disrespect for the victims. And that there's no, like, she doesn't care. Well, go back and think about the first time she interviewed with anybody, and that was on the body cam with Nunez, and she says, right in the middle of the conversation they're having about what went on that night, am I still going to be able to go home? She doesn't give a shit about what's going on in that house. She doesn't seem to care. We didn't cover this yesterday, Eddie. We covered all of the Lakeland and Bethany and Dylan being home yesterday. We didn't talk about this yet. This is new. But the point is, welcome Esther Hahn. Good to see you. The point is that it shows absolute disrespect for the fact that you just lost one of your roommates. Okay. And that should be the priority in your mind and your feelings, your emotions, but it's not. So
Okay. Came home is not specific in the sense that this is narrative. This is not observation. Okay. I heard Maddie and Kaylee arrive. They walked upstairs into the living room, and Kaylee watched the rest of the show with us, and Maddie went upstairs. She's not telling us anything like this.
good point, Kawanda. Yes. Another disrespectful statement to make, in my opinion. And great to have you here, Kawanda. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. So we're on alert for scripting. Okay, scripting here. All right, narrative. Okay, storytelling. Not observational telling, not retelling the past, not going back in experiential memory, recalling, going back into historical present tense, stuff like that. We're on high alert for scripting. From the club, this is unnecessary information. Okay. Where she says Maddie and Kaylee came home from the club. This is something that is sensitive to the subject, where Kaylee and Maddie were coming from. This may be corroborating the anticipation that we sensed earlier. This is indicative that the subject was tracking where Kaylee and Maddie were before they came home. Okay. Lakeland left. Earlier, we were told, I should say the subject communicated, that Lakeland left before any mention of Kaylee and Maddie arriving. We were also told it was just us, right? Now we are being confronted with the fact that Lakeland left during or after the arrival of Maddie and Kaylee. This is further corroboration of the sensitivity and the deception that has been communicated earlier. Maddie and Kaylee came home from the club. Lakeland left.
So the question is, did Lakeland leave before Maddie and Kaylee came home, or after? And why would you lie about that? Unless you were there for a reason and stayed there for a reason. Just saying. Welcome, Fugly Muffin. Nice name. I love it. There were multiple witnesses who remarked that Kaylee and Maddie went to the club that night. Dylan is not unique in this aspect. Well, of course.
All right. Let's get back to our video.
Thank you, Ro.
Maddie and who?
Kaylee.
Kaylee? Okay. And they got home from the club. You know what time that might have been?
I think I told one of the cops that was talking to me at the house, like, better times.
It's okay.
I don't really remember right now. Maybe like
Okay.
2 something, 1.
home around 1. That would have put them
Like
in
1:45, 2, something like that.
So near bar break. Did you have a guess?
What?
Like near bar break.
What does that mean?
Bars normally close at 2 o'clock here.
Oh, yeah. They went to Grub Shack after, so I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. What'd you do after that? After Maddie and Kaylee got home?
We all hung out in Kaylee's room for a little.
Welcome back, bud. Thanks for joining again.
And then talked, and then Maddie and I took Murphy out to pee the dog. And then I said I was gonna go to bed because I was tired, and she said she was gonna go to bed too. And then I went to my room. I was going to sleep, and she came and knocked and asked if I had Murphy, and I said no. And then I went to bed.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right, let's get back to this.
Oops.
All right. Maddie and Kaylee came home from the club, Lakeland left. All right. You guys see that? Yep. Sergeant Maddie and who? Kaylee. The sergeant asks about who was the new person mentioned here, underscoring the incomplete social introduction. The subject is given another opportunity to clarify who Kaylee is, not merely her name. The subject does not take this opportunity, but merely says her name. This is, again, a major red flag regarding the relationship between subject and Kaylee. This is signaling disrespect and subtle insults, subtle insulting. Okay. Kaylee, okay. And they got home from the club. Do you know what time that might have been? I think I told one of the cops that was talking to me at the house like better times. The sergeant asks for the time here, I think is a caveat. So what comes after this, the subject is not confident about. The subject does not answer the question. The internal tension here is noted. The question is very sensitive to the subject. I told. Told is a sensitivity indication of internal tension. Okay. Told is not the same thing as said. All right. She didn't say, I gave, for example, one of the cops that was talking to me. Okay. This is an indication of a lack of cooperation. On its face, it's almost like she said, go ask that other cop. Like better times. This is not the same thing as accurate or more correct times. This is leakage that she has not been truthful about time frames. Okay. No, she's not talking about one specific time. Okay. She's talking about better times, plural. This is leakage. She's not been truthful about time frames. This may also be leakage that she has been scripting. Better times for who? Better times for the script. The subject is not confident that she gave the other cop better times. Okay. Again, look at the caveat, I think. The question is very sensitive to the subject. Corroborating the analysis and sensitivity indications regarding the whole section of the statement, this scene in time. Sergeant, it's okay. Subject, I don't remember right now, maybe like 2-something-1. The sergeant merely says it's okay, and yet the subject continues on. Okay, so do you know what time it might have been? I don't know. Right? The cops I was talking to, I gave him like better times, I think. It's okay. I don't remember right now, maybe like 2 or 1. So she continues on. Again, we're given I don't really remember. Remember is not the same thing as I don't know. It was noted the difference between these two ideas already. I don't know is a lack of knowledge. I don't remember, is signaling that at one point she did know. Considering this was hours ago, this is completely not expected. Right now, again, brings the curiosity of what about right now prompts this lack of remembering. The most obvious answer is the presence of the sergeant. This is another bad sign. Maybe like is a major caveat. She begins with 2 and then says something 1. This is incomplete, denoting the sensitivity regarding this moment in time in the question. Also, the order from later 2 to earlier 1 is peculiar and may yet be another indication of sensitivity. It brings to question, is the later time more sensitive or is the earlier time? I'm not sure. Why would she go to the later time and then bring it back to the earlier? For me, I can't say which one is she. Is there persuasion here? Is she trying to push it out later? Is she trying to push it in earlier? I would say priority wise, I guess it would be 2. I guess she's trying to push it later, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not that good enough. So if you got home around 1, that would have put them like 1:45, 2, something like that. So the sergeant is putting some pieces together. The subject then gives more clarity, although that is caveated with like and something like that. But 1:45, 2 is now the range, which underscores the sensitivity here. Before this, it was 1 to 2. So the sergeant's mind and questions has narrowed it down for the subject. This is a clear indication of a lack of cooperation deception by the subject regarding this time and scene. I mean, all it took him was, oh, well, hold on. I'm going based on what you said. And then, oh, yeah, 1:45 too. I mean, this was, let's see, what is this, 2:00 p.m.? This was 12 hours ago, something like that. What she's talking about here. And she's meeting with the sergeant right now, about 12 hours later. Sergeant says, so near bar break, if you had to guess? What? Like near bar break. What does that mean? Bars normally close at 2 a.m. here. Oh, yeah, they went to grub truck after, so I don't know. We are now given more information of the whereabouts of Kaylee and Maddie before they came home. This supports the indications that the subject was tracking Kaylee and Maddie before they got home.
That statement right there, that's kind of big. I'll let him say it one more time for those of you that may not have caught it.
Bar break, if you had to guess? What? Like near bar break. What does that mean? Bars normally close at 2 a.m. here. Oh, yeah, they went to grub truck after, so I don't know. We are now given more information of the whereabouts of Kaylee and Maddie before they came home. This supports the indications that the subject was tracking Kaylee and Maddie before they got home.
That's quite interesting to me. Quite interesting. Just to hear it the way he says it. Welcome, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Well, she sent them the text message. I know we saw that in a book, but we don't know the exact time for sure that text was sent. Okay. That's part of the problem with that. So I'll just say that, but that's an interesting point. And was she the only one? Let's say she was tracking him somehow. She does have that app on her phone.
I was just going to say that it's probably that friend tracking app thing.
Yeah, she does have that. So was she tracking them for a reason, or was she just tracking them because she does it all the time? Was Dylan doing it too? Were her and Dylan doing it together? Was she doing it by herself? Those are all the questions that follow this right here. And it's interesting. And it could mean nothing, absolutely nothing, you guys. Or it could mean everything.
But it would kind of give her a
Thank you, Dog Mom.
It would definitely give her a reason. I mean, what's the reason for her to be doing it? Is it because she's hungry? Like, she really has no reason to be tracking them or to be wondering where they are.
Right. And she does send them a text message via the book that says, I think, but she sent it to everybody, not just those two. She sent it to Ethan and Xana too. It says, "Bring me mac and cheese." I
Yeah,
just
but
need to. Right. Go ahead.
but that doesn't. That's a little specific.
Exactly. It's a lot specific. So at that point, it could be. That's where we have to weigh it out and figure out what exactly it actually means. So either way. Anyway, I just wanted you to realize. And Maddie, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Maddie made a video at the grub truck. So good point. Good point. And maybe Travis doesn't know that. So that could point to that too. But we'll just keep this what he just said in the back just for now. It never hurts to have these pieces of info. Yeah, G Bean send me a photograph. Actually, from that's funny you sent me that photograph too, G. 1 minute. One second here. This is at the grub truck. I don't remember seeing this. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. I don't remember it. That's Maddie, and I'm not 100% who that is.
That's that guy with the number 8 or
Is
number
it
9.
number
jersey.
9? Number 9 jersey? Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that looks like he's handing her something.
Yeah. See his other hand over here? Okay. Colby Pugh.
What's weird is after that happens, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or not, but it looks like a bunch of girls come up and start giving him shit.
Because yeah, okay. So that's Colby Pugh. Okay. Yeah, his other hand looks like there's something in his hand. I don't know if it's, anything at all. If it means it may mean nothing cuz again, not everything's nefarious, guys, but that's his hand and it does look like there might be something in his hand, but I don't know.
It's not this particular frame, but it's another frame throughout the video. It looks like he hands her something.
Right. And for all we know, it could have been a phone number. It could have been something else. I don't know. Again, but thank you for that again, G. So yeah, she did when they were at the grub truck, she did do some kind of a video if I remember correct. I do remember that. So just something to say. We don't know for sure, you guys. What happened here? Did I drop it down by accident? Probably. Give me a second here. There it is. We don't know that this means anything, and even what Travis said, he's got a good point. But there again, there could be other things that Travis doesn't know because he went into this with no knowledge. Remember that. Yeah, and that's true. She didn't have anything in her system except for alcohol. So, based on what the toxicology showed. Now, did she give it to somebody else? Was it for somebody else? We don't know. If it was anything, like I said, it could have been a damn phone number for all we saw. For all we know. Just saying. But it's nice to know these things, to remember these things. So, all right, on we go.
How does the subject know where they were? Was there a conversation between the subject, Maddie and Kaylee? We are not told this. She is simply sharing that she knew this. How she knows this is sensitive enough to not share, though. So I don't know. Is not complete. On its face, we are being confronted with the fact that the subject knew they went to grub truck after, and because of this, the subject doesn't know what time they got home. We should ask, does that make any sense? I cannot see how that makes any sense. This is a bad sign. And then we got a big statement here. Big statement. Okay, what did you do after that? After Maddie and Kaylee got home? Great question. We all hung out in Kaylee's room for a little
This gets interesting too.
and then talked. And then Maddie and I took Murphy out to pee the dog. And then I said I was going to go to bed because I was tired. And she said she was going to go to bed too. And then I went to my room. I was going to sleep, and she came and knocked and asked if I had Murphy. And I said no. And then I went to bed. We have a lot of analysis for this. Okay. So hang with me. Indicates a pause. Sensitivity towards the question itself. Okay. Real quick. Pink is passages of time. Okay. Passages of time. Green is potential change of language, stuff like that. Light green is explaining why. All right. All the yellows are all the pronouns. Okay. The blue screens are names, things like that. So just to kind of give you an FYI. So we're going to go over all this. So we're listening very closely here. We all hung out in Kaylee's room for a little. On its face, we understand that the subject, Dylan, Maddie, and Kaylee were all in Kaylee's room here. Okay. However, as noted before, we are concerned that there is more than just these, Lakeland being one, and maybe even others. Hung out is not specific. Given all the indications above, this scene is very, very important. What happened in Kaylee's room? This is very likely where something very bad happened. This may indicate where and when Kaylee and Maddie were killed. Physical evidence is unknown. However, this would be a very important place to investigate physical evidence. Case facts are expected to support the analysis that Kaylee and Maddie were killed here, or at least the beginning. And you might go, wow, you jumped to that. Well, watch. And then indicates a passage of time and missing information, further supporting the analysis. We all hung out in Kaylee's room for a little, and then we have for a little. Okay. And that's a passage of time. Okay. Then we have talked. This indicates that there was no talking before, further supporting the analysis. What kind of hanging out happens without talking? This is a very bad sign, further supporting the concerns about this moment here in Kaylee's room. Also, there's a drop pronoun. Who talked? The subject didn't tell us. There was a discussion for an unknown amount of time after hanging out.
I think the table was flipped, Esther, and Bethany stated that she heard it in her one interview. I think it was, and I think it was picked up and straightened back out, and the cups were all put back up. Most of them, I should say. I believe that actually did get knocked completely over.
In Kaylee's room with unknown people. This likely signals post-murder activity, planning, discussing what to do next, and then indicates a passage of time after the talking. Okay, a passage of time. All right, or maybe not after the talking, during the talking, right? Which indicates missing information. That's really the point here. The brain noted that there was time that passed there, and she's skipping over it. Again, we're on high alert for scripting. Maddie and I took Murphy out to pee the dog. We are now told about an activity between the subject and one of the victims, Maddie. We have not been given any specific activity between the subject and Maddie, Kaylee until this point. We must ask exactly what this means. Were they both holding the dog together? Did they both open the door to let out the dog? Did they both walk outside together? We aren't given the details, but just the general action. Okay. Notice that we have an incomplete social introduction regarding the dog. We're given 2 of the 3, name and title. Okay. She felt that Murphy needed to be explained who he was. This is a more complete introduction than we've gotten from the 4 victims. The dog is given more respect than the 4 victims. We're not given whose dog this is at this point, but this is what we're being confronted with, guys. We then have a passage of time, and then after the dog part, I said is a soft word. I was going to go to bed. Okay. This is not a direct quote, but a summary of it, furthering the possibility of scripting here. Okay. We're also confronted with an explanation as to why the subject said she was going to go to bed. The subject feels the need to explain why she was going to go to bed. This is actually really important. I missed this. I'm actually paying attention to this right now as I'm analyzing, as I'm talking about this. This is unnecessary information. Okay, explaining why.
Great question,
Okay?
Esther.
So I said I was going to go to bed because I was tired. She feels the need to explain why she said that. Okay. One thing though, before I forget, I said I was going to go to bed. So this is something Peter Hyatt taught me, is 5 baseball players are out on the field and one of them says, I'm going to go home. How many are left? Well, there's still 5. Just because they said I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go home. That doesn't mean they've left. The exact definition, the exact one that he gives is 5 baseball players are on the field and one of them decides to go home. How many are left? The answer is 5. Just because someone made a decision, that doesn't mean that they've actually acted on that decision. So we have here, and then I said I was going to go to bed. Okay. That's not the same thing as going to bed. Okay. So anyway, so I was tired. This is why people go to bed. Okay. So going back to why she's explaining why she said she was going to go to bed. I was tired, right? Because I was tired. That's why people go to bed. The subject's 4 roommates have been murdered, and the subject feels the need to explain to a sergeant that she went to bed because she was tired. Completely unnecessary. She denotes high internal tension in the subject. It's tired, and she. We don't have a name here indicating psychological distancing. She. Okay. If we're interpreting, we're understanding this as Maddie, but the subject cannot say her name here. All right. Maybe she's drawing on Maddie here. Maddie and I took out Murphy out to pee the dog, but then she has a passage of time. And then I said I was going to go to bed because I was tired. And she. All right. And then she said she was going to go to bed too. This is not a direct quote, indicating more scripting. She didn't say, and then Maddie said, I'm going to go to bed too. She's scripting. Okay, we're getting the narrative of it. And then indicates another passage of time. Here. I went to my room. I was going to go to sleep. I was getting going to sleep. Getting going indicates self-censoring, high internal tension here. Why would there be internal tension for the subject merely accounting going to sleep? And she came and knocked and asked if I had Murphy. We do not know who she is. Is this Maddie? Is this Dylan? Is this Kaylee? She won't say who it is. We won't say it for her. We're confronted with a peculiarity here as well. Maddie and I took Murphy out, but now Murphy's missing. Does this indicate that she let out Murphy and didn't ensure that Murphy came back in? Did the subject let out the dog to get the dog out of the house? This could be indication of post-crime activity. Also, the lack of clarity of who this is. The scripting seems to say, I was in my room, Maddie was alive. If she cannot say it, we will not say it for her, however. We are not going to interpret that. We will not interpret this as such, but the subject appears to intend that the sergeant understands things this way. And then indicates a passage of time here and missing information. Okay. Passage of time. I went to my room. I was going to sleep. She came and knocked and asked if I had Murphy, and I said no. And then passage of time, I went to bed. This may indicate more post-crime activity. I went to bed. We will now see how the sergeant decides to handle this from here. All right, let's get back to the sergeant, huh?
So what time did you think you took Murphy out?
Like 2:30.
2:30 to 3?
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you normally take Murphy to go to the bathroom?
Just the back door in the kitchen.
So which one is 1122? So if I'm coming up King Road off the Taylor.
It's the big white house up there.
All the way to the very top on the right?
Oh, well, it's technically on Queen, but the address is King.
Okay. So is it the one that's tucked back as you're going up to 500 Clean Road? Those big apartments? It's kind of tucked back just a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you normally go out the back deck then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know how Cheshire then. Okay. So you go there. You and Maddie take the dog out.
Mm-hmm.
And then how long do you think that took?
I was out there for maybe like 10 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So then you both come back in. So you and Maddie both
I
come
came
back
in
in.
before she did.
Okay. Did Maddie still have the dog then?
Yes, I think so.
So you went out for a little bit, came back in. Do you know what time Maddie came back in?
Mm-hmm.
And you went straight to bed when you came back in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long after you went to bed do you think Maddie came in?
Actually, I came in, grabbed some chips, went to my room, and watched the show for a little, and then I went to bed.
What were you watching?
All right.
And before he even
what time did you
before he breaks that down, I do have and I don't know if it means anything because this is a bunch of college kids. There could be more than one type of thing in that house, guys. But there was a bag of chips sitting on the arm of the couch in the photos we saw. And Dylan stated she had popcorn. Dylan was the one that was the last one up, from my understanding, upstairs. And there's a bag of chips that Bethany said she took to her bedroom, was watching TV, watching whatever show it was. Is that the same bag of chips? That's all I'm saying. It's just weird because some of these things are off. Dylan had her popcorn. There's a bag of chips, and it's almost like, I don't know, you guys. I don't trust them. That's the problem. Anything they're saying, I don't trust it because we've proven it. That's what bothers me. So, what do you guys want me to play? She'll tell me. I'm going to keep going. I just wanted to point that out. There was a bag of potato chips, as she claimed she grabbed, sitting on the arm of the couch in the crime scene photographs we saw, just sitting there. And I had to wonder, wait a minute, that's all I'm saying. And Bethany's got a toothache. Maybe she shouldn't be eating chips. Yeah, she had popcorn in her room. That's true. That's where the words come into play here with this case, unfortunately.
do you think you took Murphy out from like 2:30 to 3? Yeah. The sergeant wants to know what time was it when the subject took Murphy out. Notice he backed up and asked, do you think? Okay. The subject says from. This indicates the beginning. For example, from 12 to 12:15. We would expect a start time and an end time if the sentence begins with from. We would expect a from and a completion with to, something like that. However, we're given a backwards chronology from like 3 to 30. Like, which is a caveat, then 3 to 30. Again, on its face, we're understanding from 3 to 2:30, which is an impossibility. This partial answer is indicative of self-censoring, high internal tension. Okay, where do you normally take Murphy to go to the bathroom? Just the back door in the kitchen. What normally happens is irrelevant. This is a poor question, and we don't even know how or where they took Murphy out in the first place. On its face, we're to understand that the subject only takes Murphy out the back door in the kitchen. Okay, but why he would ask about what normally happens, we don't even know exactly what happened here. So it's a poor question. He seemed not interested in her answer. And so he just starts thinking about where this place is. So which one is 1122? So if I'm coming up King Road off Taylor, it's the big white house at the end. The sergeant appears to now be concerned with the location of the subject's address. This is an indication that the sergeant has not been tracking what the subject is saying and instead has interpreted what the subject has said. The subject explains some details about the subject here, about the address. It's the big white house at the end. Knowledge of the house is outside the scope of the analysis. This is going to assume that these are accurate descriptions. Big white house, and at the end, we will see how the sergeant understands these descriptions. All the way at the very top on the right? Oh, well, it's technically on Queen, but the address is King. However, it appears that the sergeant's still not clear, indicating the lack of clarity from the subject. Oh, well, it isn't technically on Queen, but the address is King. Oh, oops. Oh, well, it's technically on Queen, but the address is King, doesn't appear to answer the question. All the way at the very top on the right, the question itself is indicated as sensitive to the subject. Okay, so is it the one that's tucked back as you're going up to 500 Queen Road, those big apartments? Yeah. It's kind of back just a little bit. The sergeant helps the subject out and tries to fill in the blanks. The subject's yeah and which is another informal yes, apparently was enough to help the sergeant understand. I'm still a little skeptical about this. All right, now he kind of turns his attention to, again, what they normally do. This is a really bad question. Okay, so you normally go out the back deck then? Yeah. The sergeant then turns his attention back to the letting out of the dog, apparently. Based on the subject's answer, it is understood that the back door at the kitchen goes out back to a deck. Okay, all right. I know how blank, I don't know. Okay, so you go there. You and Maddie take the dog out. Then how long do you think that took? I was out there for maybe like 10 seconds. Where's Maddie? Okay. Analysis. Informal yes to this. You and Maddie take the dog out. The subject then answers she was out there. This appears to be a change of language. Earlier, she said that she and Maddie took the dog out. Again, this what was narrative earlier, not detailing or not retelling a detailed a retelling of her experiential memory. Out there is not specific. Out where, we do not know. Maybe like 10 seconds. She caveats this with maybe like. Interpreting this, the subject went outside with the dog and let out the dog for around 10 seconds. We must ask this question. Are we to understand that the dog went outside with her and the dog did its business in like 10 seconds and then came back in with the dog? We're not given any specifics on exactly how this happened, what exactly happened. And this could be interpreted that the subject, this could be interpreted that the subject went outside with the dog. She was there for 10 seconds and then walked back in and left the dog outside. We don't know. She's not being clear. Another indication of deception. Finally, there indicates psychological distancing from that location. Okay, out there. This is, again, indicating the internal tension of the subject regarding this time and place. We're seeing tension, psychological distancing, and internal tension with just even the address and the sergeant trying to understand where she lives. Okay. And I didn't even have this in here, but where is Maddie? Okay. This is a scene. You and Maddie take the dog out. I can't believe I missed this. This is just there's just so much here in statements. How long do you think that took? I was out there for maybe like 10 seconds. This is another example of extreme concerning psychological distancing from a victim, Maddie. She's nowhere to be thought of. No explanation. However, the sergeant is tracking. Okay. So then you both come back in? So do you and Maddie both come back in? I came in before she did. Indicates a pause, which indicates sensitivity. Now we're signaled that Maddie and the subject and the dog went out there, and that the subject, after about 10 seconds, left Maddie and the dog outside. However, this is not what she's saying. We don't interpret. The subject does not say the name. Instead, she goes with she. It is noted that the subject is detailing that they came back in at separate times. This could be leakage of the psychological distancing between the subject and Maddie. Separation is what we're seeing here. Okay, did Maddie still have the dog then? Yes. Oh, wait. She then goes, I believe so. A yes is not a yes, not an informal yes here, but she couldn't commit to yes. So she caveats with, I believe so. And I just want to apparently, if we're interpreting, she's not being clear. She goes out there with Maddie and the dog. She goes out there for 10 seconds, comes back in. She goes in before Maddie. And she believes so that Maddie still had the dog. What?
That's kind of my thought, Eddie. I don't believe that happened. SRB said the same thing. I just don't, for some reason, I've not been comfortable with Bethany and Maddie taking the dog out. Never have. And there's no other way to prove it because Maddie's no longer with us. So I just don't believe it happened. I think it's something that was brought up to fill a spot, to explain something away. That's my opinion.
She's being deceptive. This is likely, she's caveating. She's not sure if she wants to go with this story. Okay. She doesn't want to be pinned down on anything. So you went out for a little bit, came back in. Do you know what time Maddie came back in? I mean, the sergeant's confused. Nuh-uh. The subject cannot give her direct no, but only an informal no. The subject doesn't offer any context, anything that happened around it, any support for any reason to think that it may be from blank to blank. Nothing. Just nuh-uh. And you went straight to bed when you came back in? Mm-hmm. Let's go back. Analysis. Let's go back. You enter Kaylee's room. What happened? Let's go back to you leaving Kaylee's room. What happened? The sergeant instead just asks a yes or no question if she went straight to bed when she came back in. The sergeant is giving the subject words here. The subject doesn't take the offer to parrot the sergeant's words and can only make the noise mm-hmm instead of a yes. Again, no explanations, no context given, no help in facilitating the flow of information here. Okay, bad question though, given her words. And now we have a big one. Okay, how long after you went to bed, do you think Maddie came in? He really wants to know what's going on here. You got Maddie outside and you won't tell me when she's coming in or anything. I mean, this is really throwing him for a loop. Watch this. How long after you went to bed, do you think Maddie came in? Actually, I came in, grabbed some chips, went to my room and watched a show for a little, and then I went to bed.
Completely avoided
She
it.
does not answer that question. This is a deceptive tactic. She instead goes back and clarifies the answer to the question before it. She does not answer this question. This underscores, highlights, bolds, all caps. This is very sensitive question to the subject. And think about all the sergeant is doing is asking her after you went to bed.
So think about that question, you guys. What time do you think Maddie came back inside? It makes me wonder if she's just being deceptive there. Did Maddie come back inside? Does Bethany know something right there? Maybe something started outside with Maddie. Maybe somebody grabbed Maddie outside and drug her inside or something like that. And Bethany knows about it. Okay. That could be right there why she's deceiving, if she is. As soon as I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. That made me wonder, did something happen outside that she knows about, that she doesn't want to talk about, that she would make her turn completely away from that question and go somewhere else? And she's not, her answers, I hate it. The there's no answers. There's no emotion either. Crazy.
I'm sorry, after you came in, how long until Maddie came in?
It could be, Esther.
Why would this be so sensitive to the subject? The answer here indicates high internal tension. Okay.
And there it is. High internal tension, meaning it's causing her like anxiety to hear that question, because that's what made me think she knows something. That might have something to do with all of this, okay? If in relation to Maddie, okay? If it would get her, that anxious about answering a question that she walks completely away from it and avoids it to go somewhere else, there's a reason. Something may have happened at that point. And that's what's causing the anxiety right there, possibly, to where she doesn't even want to think about that question, let alone answer it. Quite interesting.
She's being deceptive. Actually connects, if we're understanding this properly, with straight to bed. Okay. So the subject's actually is similar to just, in the sense that it is indicative of comparing one or more thoughts or phrases. Actually,
And before he says what he says, think about that. She went and answered it with that question asked. You know what time Maddie came in? I came in, grabbed a bag of chips, and went straight to bed. Like she's completely distancing herself from that part of the question or Maddie or that whole situation of Maddie being left outside, which was a shit move to make anyway. But still, think about that.
I did not go straight to bed. I came in, grabbed some chips, went to my room and watched a show for a little, and then I went to bed. This would be interpreting, so we aren't going to say that for her. But additionally, we have to at least acknowledge the possibility that actually may be in reference to the earlier account regarding Maddie and taking the dog out. We aren't sure about that. Okay. We don't know. She's not answering the question. She's thinking about something else. I came in. So there's some parroting here. Okay. Came in. You went to bed. Do you think Maddie came in? We have some missing info regarding location here. We aren't sure where she is coming in from or coming into. Actually, I came in, grabbed some chips. We potentially have a missing pronoun here. She may have dropped I. We aren't given the exact brand or style of chips. Do we know if she grabbed a handful of chips, a bag of chips? We don't know. Went to my room. This is also likely a dropped.
And like I said, I don't know if she grabbed the chips or didn't grab the chips. All I know is when I saw the bag of chips laying on the arm of the couch, it just made me question that statement she made. She may have grabbed them, set them down. Something may have went down at that point. She may have actually had them in her room. That could be the puff things that she had on her bedroom. Who knows? Who knows? I only question it because I saw the bag of chips on the couch.
Pronoun. I went to my room. Instead, she drops the I, indicating psychological distancing. Okay. Possible deception. And watched a show. We also here have a potential dropped pronoun. I watched a show. It'd be very likely to be true. But she's taking I out. She's not being clear. She's not being confident in these. I came in. Okay, fine. I came in, grabbed some chips, went to my room and watched a show for a little. And then I came back in. I went to bed. I came in. She's confident in that. Likely to be true. I went to bed. Likely to be true. All these other things, I don't know about that. Okay. Here, we don't know what show she watched. She detailed earlier that she was watching Vampire Diaries. We can now see a contrast here between the two scenes. The first had indications of tension, anticipation, and here we don't have the specifics of the chips or the show. It was simply a show. Okay. Simply a show. Some chips, right? We don't have the specificity. We don't have the tension. Compared that to, what does she say? The sergeant asked, hey, when you got home, what did you see? Me, Dylan, Lakeland, sitting on the couch, watching Vampire Diaries, and no one else was home yet. That sentence, that analysis of that blew my mind. Okay. What that was indicating took me a while to figure it out. For a little. So she specifies that it was only for a little bit where she watched a show, which is a subjective term. A little might be a lot to some. A lot might be a little to others. How long did she watch the show? We don't know. And then right after a little, we have, and then a passage of time. So we have for a little, but then we have an indication of passage of time. The brain is skipping ahead. This may indicate deception here. I went to bed. She then apparently went to bed at this point. Zooming out, she chose to share some information about the night, and in one sense, this would be a good thing. However, we must consider that this specificity comes with dropped pronouns, lack of specificity that is different than how specific she has gotten regarding other parts of the statement, like the Vampire Diaries, and worse, this extra information she chose to communicate doesn't specify anything regarding the conversations, interactions, or clarity regarding the victims. Her priority is clear. We also have a change here in her account. Earlier, she said, Maddie and I took Murphy out to pee the dog. And then I said I was going to go to bed because I was tired. And she said she was going to go to bed too. And then I went to my room. I was getting to sleep. And she came back and knocked and asked if I had Murphy. And I said no. And then I went to bed. But now she says she came in, grabbed some chips, went to my room and watched a show for a little and went to bed. Now, theoretically possible that both accounts could fit within one another, but the subject is not explaining how they fit. It would be prudent for the sergeant to have her recount what happened. See if we can get the straight story here. It would be fascinating to hear the sergeant, at least at some point, go, hey, talk to me again about what happened. Like you're walking up, you go into Kaylee's room, what happened there? And to recount Kaylee's room, the whole Maddie and taking the dog out and what happened from there. I bet I can guess what happened. All right. What would happen, I should say. The sergeant, what were you watching? It's called Baby Daddy. So the sergeant asks a curious question here about what she was watching. There are a few ways to take this. He may have noticed that she didn't specify the title this time, and it sparked his curiosity. I'm not analyzing the sergeant, but this question hints at doubt or potential skepticism of the subject's account here. He may have been testing if this is true or not. Zooming out, it seems that the trail he is following is the one that the subject is leading him down, rather than the sergeant picking up on the sensitivity indications that have been noted. It's called Baby Daddy. Again, we're confronted with necessary information regarding the subject, what the subject was watching. We have been told only scripting of interactions between any or some victims, but we're given details of things like the shows she watched for contrast. The sergeant asked for the title, so it is what it is. All right, let's get back to our sergeant here and our subject.
It's called Baby Daddy.
Okay. How long do you think you watched?
Maybe like 30 minutes.
So one episode maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a half.
Okay. And did Maddie come in during that show or after?
She just knocked on my door, I think, during and asked if I had Murphy and this and them.
Okay. Then what happened after that?
I just went to bed. And then I woke up and I was like half asleep and I just thought I saw like a firework or something. Like it just sparkled like under my door. And I thought I heard like something kind of fall. And then Murphy barked, but I thought people were just making like food, like and Ethan was here or something and knocked something over because he's usually loud in the kitchen upstairs.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right. Okay, cool. So we're talking about Baby Daddy, the show. Okay, how long do you think you watched it? Maybe like 30 minutes. The subject caveats with maybe like. She's not confident in this time. She knows the exact title. The caveats for how long she watched it, indicating sensitivity to the question. She doesn't specify what episode or give any surrounding context of the watching. So one episode maybe? Yeah. Or like a half. Yeah, this would be reasonably solid. But she caveats, which indicates the subject's internal sensitivity to the question. It appears she doesn't want to commit and instead leave it ambiguous. Or is a choice word. This or that, not both. A straightforward reading of this is it's one or the other, an episode or like a half. She is not confident in this. This is ambiguous. This is concealing. This is deceptive response. Okay, and did Maddie come in during the show or after? She just knocked on my door, I think, during, and asked if I had Murphy, and I said no. A better question would have been, okay, so you go to your room, then what happened? The sergeant gave her some words here, contaminating the statement, which makes the following analysis weak. Okay. Since the sergeant said Maddie's name, the subject chose to say she. We're seeing a pattern of hesitancy to say Maddie's name. Just is in reference to come in. It appears refuting this notion. The sergeant apparently had thought that the subject said that Maddie came into the subject's bedroom. However, the subject hadn't said that, okay? Knocked on my door. This is consistent with what she had said earlier. This logically means that she didn't see Maddie, only heard her voice, apparently. I think during. So she parrots during, okay? However, she caveats, I think. She cannot say it, so we will not say it for her. She cannot fully commit to this account. This is indicative of sensitivity, scripting, and deception. Okay. And asked. There may be a drop pronoun here. And she asked versus and asked. just knocked on my door, I think, during, and asked. If she dropped she here, that would be further corroboration of the psychological distancing we've observed regarding Maddie. It would also indicate deception. It would indicate, it would signal deception. If I had Murphy and I said no, so she asked if I had Murphy, and asked if I had Murphy, and she said no. Again, we are wondering about this part of the account. She said that she was out there for 10 seconds and that she came in before Maddie. I'm sorry, like 10 seconds, I should say. It's important. And that she came in before Maddie. And yet, Maddie's asking the subject if she had Murphy. Okay, I interrupted that. She said that she was out there for like 10 seconds and that she came in before Maddie. And yet, Maddie is now asking the subject if she had Murphy. On its face, this makes little sense. We also note that this is not a direct quote regarding Maddie's words. This is
That's a great question, Esther. Question I have for myself as well. I'd really love to know who was wearing that bracelet. Honestly and truly.
simply scripting what Maddie communicated. Okay. And asked if I had Murphy. That's not a direct quote. Mm-mm. And then we have, okay, then what happened after that? I just went to bed and then I woke up, but I was like half asleep and I thought I saw like a firework or something like it just sparkled like under my door. And then I thought I heard like something kind of fall and then like Murphy bark, but I thought people were just making like food, like, and Ethan was here or something and knocked something over because he's usually loud in the kitchen with maybe and those things. Oh boy. We see what happens when investigators ask open-ended questions like this. Great question from the sergeant. It's amazing what open-ended questions will do. Indicates sensitivity, a pause. Sensitivity related to the question. I just went to bed. Just is forceful here. I didn't do anything else. Right? He simply asked what happened. I went to bed. That is likely true. It's strong. And in this case, it would have come from her free editing process. Okay. Given the open-ended, non-intrusive, non-contaminating question. However, she had to reinforce this with just. I just went to bed. And we have a passage of time and then, which indicates missing information. I woke up. This would this would be a simple statement and likely true. There we go. However, she then caveats it with, but I was like half asleep. But refuses or minimizes, I woke up. She is saying she was not fully awake. However, she caveats this with like half asleep. I was half asleep. Would have been fine on its own, but she couldn't say that. Okay. And I thought I saw like a firework or something, like it just sparkled like under my door. I thought is a major caveat here. Okay. A major caveat. I saw a firework. That's not what she's saying. She is non-committal to what follows here. I saw like a firework is what she says. And then she caveats it even more, or something. Like a firework or something. We are not sure what she's exactly saying here. She's very non-committal, and the caveats indicate sensitivity and a huge impression of deception here. We would expect the subject to explain and describe what she observed confidently with no caveats, not describe to us these caveated ambiguous explanations. Just sparkled. Just in this context would be comparing it. We're not sure what sparkled is being compared with. It appears she had something else in her mind. It didn't do that other thing. It just sparkled, you know? So what was in her mind? What was on her mind? It didn't make noise. It didn't make a boom sound. You know, it just sparkled. We don't know. Oh my gosh, that's so important too. Wow, I can't believe I had that in there. Anyway, like under my door. Was it under her door or not. She is non-committal to whether it was under her door. If she cannot say it, we won't say it for her. It's not, I saw it under my door. It's like under her door. What does that mean? She's non-committal. She's not clear. The I thought is a blanket caveat to the whole segment. I thought I saw like a firework or something like it just sparkled like under my door. Okay, moving on. And then indicates a passage of time, missing information. I thought we have a major caveat here as well, meaning that everything following this segment is blanketed with a huge caveat. She is non-committal to this. I heard like something kind of fall. Within the I thought is I heard like something. What is like something? We don't know what that is. Is like something like nothing too? A lack of coherence here is another strong signal of what's going on here. And we're getting more of this. Kind of fall. She cannot commit. Let me back this up just a hair. Kind of fall. Yeah, there we go. She cannot commit to, I heard something fall. She's saying she heard it kind of fall. Okay, or something kind of fall. This is the subject hoping that the sergeant will connect dots here. Okay, simple as that. And then, or and like, something like that. I'm not sure. If it's and then, this means a passage of time, missing information. And if it's and like, then we have another caveat of in this case, Murphy bark. Either way, we have indications of sensitivity, missing information, and or deceptive indications. Okay. And Murphy bark. But I thought, but refutes or minimize what was said before it. Okay. Which is Murphy bark. But we're now being confronted with the signal here of the subjects preempting a very important question from the sergeant. If you saw fireworks sparkling and heard someone fall, oh no, something, oops, and heard the dog bark, why didn't you go up and see what happened? Okay, right?
Exactly.
She's preempting this. All right. When she says, but I thought, okay, people were just. The subject is concerned for herself here and is creating what seems to be a defense. But I thought people were just making food. We need to ask the question, why would the subject see a firework thing and hear some noises or a noise and hear a bark and assume people were making food? We are confronted with people here as well. This is a passive word. This is not a specific person, but people. This is non-specific. If we're interpreting this, it seems like fellow roommates are simply people. Okay, that's impersonal. People are, when we say that word, it's, it's diminishing of a person's identity. When we're out in a park and we're just looking around, we see people, right? And then when we see someone we know, they're no longer just a people, right? They're my friend, Jack, whatever. This is another indication of sensitivity in the negative. Psychological distancing language regarding the victims. People were just making like food, like in Ethan. The likes here is an indication of strong internal stress or tension, okay, by the repetition. Notice she is saying like food. She didn't think people were making food. She thought people were just making like food. Okay. So imagine what that is. I don't know what that is. And then Ethan was here or something. We have Ethan is being referred to in the past here, which could be leakage of knowledge that he was deceased at this point. Okay. Just throwing that out there. At the time, I thought Ethan is home. This is not what she said. We're not going to interpret, but simply note the possibility of her mentioning Ethan in the past. She caveats as well with or something. Okay. She thought that Ethan was here or something. She is floating out so many possibilities here. This is indicative of deception. There is possibility that the subject is looking for the sergeant's response here to see which one the sergeant deems is more realistic. Okay. Here we are confronted with even more concerning language. And knock something over because he's usually loud in the kitchen with or and those things. Again, those with guilty knowledge will oftentimes in an open statement find ways to insult their victim or victims. Here, we're being confronted with a subtle insult of Ethan. If you want to call it that, I'm being generous, I guess, for some reason. Ethan may have knocked something over. Ethan was usually loud in the kitchen. Not rarely, usually. Ethan, at the time of this interview, is deceased. The subject leaked to the sergeant earlier that there was a poor relationship with Ethan. A lack of a complete social introduction is a signal of disrespect to the individual. An incomplete social introduction regarding a deceased victim is a giant red flag and indicative of guilty knowledge. Now, we have a second insult regarding Ethan and him being noisy. We have the lack of social introduction, complete social introduction, which denoted disrespect. And now he's loud and noisy, usually. And in a sense, there's also an embedded third insult here. This is my quote, but bear with me. I wasn't concerned about anything. I didn't call 911. I didn't do anything to possibly save Kaylee's, Maddie's, Xana's, and or Ethan's lives because I just assumed it was Ethan being loud again, knocking things over. So it's his fault why potentially they all died. If he hadn't been so usually noisy, maybe I could have done something. Also, the subject preempted the question from the sergeant. Why would you think it was Ethan who knocked something over? Okay. She preempted that. Ethan was here or something and knocked something over because he's usually loud in the kitchen. Right? But I thought people were just making food like an Ethan was here or something and knocked something over. Well, why would you think that, subject? Because he's usually loud in the kitchen. She was preempting.
No, she didn't say those words, but that's what he's saying, that basically by what she says, that's basically in a sense what it kind of assumes.
This. Okay. Which this is a major sensitivity indication. Preempting. With and those things, something like that. I don't know what she says here. It's one of those two words. It sounds like something like that. Those things, though. This is psychological distancing language. What exactly are those things? The subject is not telling us what she has in her mind. She, it seems, is hoping the sergeant will fill in those blanks. This is deception. Zooming out, we have just about everything blanketed with caveats. What is like and kind of, and I thought, and like this, and kind of like that, and maybe something, I thought, maybe, but.
Thanks, Mark. It's great to have you here, brother. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Again, great video. I haven't seen you since you did that video we watched on the verdict room this past Saturday that Logan played. Amazing video, bro. Appreciate your work, Mark, very much. Looking forward to having you as a guest, too. Can't wait for that. But thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. And Chris, too, whether it's not what people think the narrative is, we want to hear everything. We're interested in hearing everything, and then we make our decisions based on that. So withholding stuff, if you have something because you think people will disagree with it, that doesn't matter, bud. Just, put it out and then worry about that at that point. It doesn't matter. You know what you believe. That's all that matters. So I want to hear it either way.
He is usually loud in the kitchen. That's not caveated. Sorry, that was loud. Okay, let's get back to these two.
So what do you mean by you heard a firework?
It sounded like a little firework, and then there was like a spark. I went by my
So is Murphy your dog?
Kaylee's dog.
Kaylee's dog?
Kaylee and her ex-boyfriend's dog.
Okay. So you heard Murphy bark right after you heard what you thought was a firecracker?
Yeah, something like that, but he like, I don't know, dogs bark at random things. And sometimes when he's happy, he'll bark.
Okay. It didn't sound like an angry growl or anything like that, just a bark?
I don't really know. I was like half asleep.
Okay.
It just sounded like bark.
So so is Murphy your dog? So hear the firework, kind of see a spark underneath the door. Murphy barks. What'd you hear after that?
Pretty much nothing.
Nothing.
That's it.
Guys, if you haven't yet done it, please make sure you subscribe to Mark B's channel. Another great creator putting in a lot of hard work out here, trying to come to the end and get some answers to this case, as we all are. So please, I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe to his channel and go check out some of the great things he's done. Greatly appreciated if you would, guys. Thank you.
Okay. And you thought maybe someone was just in the kitchen at that point?
Yeah, just like someone accidentally fell into the table or something.
Okay.
And she was like with Murphy.
You know,
Okay. Okay, so what do you mean you heard a firework? It sounded like a little firework, and then maybe there's like a spark that went by my, like I'm on the bathroom floor, and so it kind of looked like, I'm sorry, the bottom floor. And so it kind of looked like it came down there, but I don't know. It's a well-worded question. What do you mean by heard a firework?
Chris, no disrespect intended when I say this, but all the detectives in the case looked into the connection between any of the victims and Bryan Kohberger, as did the prosecution. There was nothing found. They even said, as much as they wanted there to be a connection, there wasn't one with any of them, and there was nothing found online anywhere. So unless you can show me that, I can't believe that. I have to believe what they say, unfortunately. So as much as I don't want to believe them, they have the facts, buddy, and they have documentation of it.
However, this is a
If you can
very
show me, I'd
interesting
love to
question,
see it,
though, in
please.
particular, and I almost completely missed this. I had analysis typed up, and then I realized this glaring fact. The subject did not say that she heard the firework. She had not said that. She only said what she saw regarding the like firework, the like, quote unquote, like firework. The subject, it seems, either one, forgot that she never said that she heard the firework, or two, she forgot to tell us what she heard when she first explained this. Given the analysis and the indications, it is hard to argue for the latter, for number two. So with little, we have a minimization of the firework here. It was a little firework. This would make sense drawing on the indications that she has a need to explain why she was unconcerned enough with these activities as to not explore them, to get out of her room and go look, not call 911, not be alarmed. This is very likely deception here. She's now minimizing the firework. And then is the passage of time, missing information. This is an incomplete sentence. This doesn't even make any sense. What do you mean by you heard a firework? Well, it sounded like a little firework. And then it sounded like a little firework is merely an explanation of what it sounded like, not an account of what happened in time, like historically. Okay. This is a very strong indication of internal stress. And then I'm not sure if she says hi. There's like a spark that went by my drawing on the analysis of an incongruent sentence to begin with. She stops halfway through this sentence and drops it, underscoring the internal stress and sensitivity here. Theirs is not specific. Theirs like a spark. That's denotes sensitivity, denotes psychological distancing. Where? Not here, there. Also, like a spark, she cannot say what it is. Again, she caveats it. I saw a spark. She cannot say this. So we will not say it for her. And then she says, that went by my. That went by my what? Bedroom? Door? Window? She drops. She stops talking about that. Dropping or broken phrases like this are clear indications of internal stress and tension. He's just asking, what does she mean by she heard the firework? Okay. Then she goes into, like, I'm on the bottom floor. She has now stopped explaining what she means by heard a firework, hearing a firework. It was a boom. It sounded like electricity. It sounded like a sparkler. You know, she's not saying that. How easy is it? And so we have a caveat again. It is crystal clear that she is non-committal to her account. And it is crystal clear she has intense internal tension and stress about this question. She says it looked like it came down there. This is an indication of psychological distancing with there. Also, if the subject's door was shut, as she has indicated, how could she tell whether something came down or where exactly it traveled from? This is another indication of something we've been getting. Scripting, deception. She also cannot even commit to this idea, but I don't know. She finishes with, I don't know, but refuses or minimizes what was before it, which was, it kind of looked like it came down there, but I don't know. I don't know underscores her non-committal account here. Okay, finally, zooming out here, we have what appears to be misdirection. The subject appears to have told the sergeant about this firework to get the sergeant off of her own scent and direct his attention to something else altogether. What is interesting is this firework language came out after the sergeant asked 4 questions about when the subject was in her own bedroom. Okay, I just went back and looked at it. When he asked 4 questions, he asked about her bedroom, what she watched, for how long, how many episodes, and more details about Maddie. And then after that, he asked a great open-ended question. She caveated, non-committal, and gave misdirection. Misdirection came. Okay, the misdirection came about the firework and insulting of Ethan. Those open-ended questions are incredibly impactful. All right. And so, is Murphy your dog? What a change up of questions here. Kaylee's dog. So the sergeant now turns his attention to the dog. Okay, it appears the misdirection has worked. Unfortunately, the subject says only 2 words here. Kaylee's dog, and nothing further. Comes across as pretty cold. He says Kaylee's dog. He just repeats it. The sergeant merely reflects her words, and the subject continues to explain. Kaylee and her ex-boyfriend, we believe, is Jax here. Okay, this is not for sure, but the transcript I was given says Jax. Could be wrong. She gives more information here, giving the missing piece for a complete social introduction of the dog. We have a complete social introduction for the dog, not for the victims. This is a good objective contrast, showing the quality of relationship between the subject and the 4 victims. Side notes, this also gives us, if Jack here is accurate, an almost complete social introduction to Jack. We have his name and his relation to at least Kaylee, right? Even this is better than what we've gotten when contrasting with the 4 victims. Okay. Remember, she said Murphy, the dog. Okay. That's his title. Murphy's his name. We just didn't know the relationship. And now she's getting.
You guys hear this okay? If you have something, Chris, and you think it's something, send it to my email and I will listen to it. Truly. That's all you got to do, bud. You don't have to come on panel. Just send it to me. That's all you got to do. Okay. Thank you, Pam. Or Parm. Sorry. Parmer. Thank you.
Given us the relationship. So we have all three for the dog. How sad is that? The dog is given more respect than the victims. Okay, so you heard Murphy bark right after you heard what you thought was a firecracker. She didn't say firecracker. Yeah, something like that. But he I don't know, dogs bark at random things, and sometimes when he's happy, he'll bark. Earlier, the subject did not specify it like this. The chronology was like a firework, something kind of fall, Murphy's bark. Okay. So the subject says, yeah, something like that. Okay. So we have firework, something kind of fall, Murphy bark. That's what she detailed earlier. And now the sergeant is saying, so you heard Murphy bark right after you heard what you thought was a firecracker. Okay. So he skips this part. She says, yeah, something like that. This is not specific. The subject is showing zero concern for the exact facts of the chronology. Something like that is apparently just fine as far as she's concerned regarding what the sergeant understands. This is signaling that it's unimportant to the subject. But here refutes or minimizes what came before it, which further supports the signal we are getting regarding how the accuracy of exactly how the firework falling bark happened. For any who are skeptical of the analysis so far, if you were a caring roommate who just had 4 roommates murdered, would you be concerned about the chronology of the last moments and observations you've had that could help law enforcement uncover and apprehend the criminals who did this to them? Or would you be okay with, as long as they get the idea, you would be all right with that? He, like, I don't know. So she kind of skipped on he. This is an indication of self-censoring, fragmented phrasing, and this underscores the internal tension and stress the subject is experiencing by the question, the time, the place being asked. Dogs bark at random things. The subject has now gone passive. She is not talking about Murphy. She is talking about dogs in general. She's not talking about the specific time either. This is an indication talking about Murphy is sensitive to her. It's uncomfortable. Okay. He's asking about Murphy barking. Yeah, something like that. But he, like, I don't know, dogs bark at random times. Eject. And sometimes this is passive language as well. Okay, so she starts talking about him again, but she's talking about him, what he sometimes does. The subject has asked a simple question. Was it firecracker or firework bark? This is an indication that the subject has been scripting to the sergeant and has lost grip on what she has said already to the sergeant. This may indicate that she doesn't want to misspeak and contradict herself, so talking about what usually happens is safe. She knows about that. And the subject can avoid talking more about the scene in question. This question was very sensitive to the subject, and we're seeing multiple indications of internal stress. All right. Yeah, we're going to keep going. Okay. It didn't sound like an angry growl or anything like that, just a bark. I don't really know. I was like half asleep. It just sounded like a bark. I don't really know. We believe her here. Why doesn't she really know, however, is a different question altogether. I was like half asleep. Again, we have a caveat. She doesn't say, I was half asleep. She cannot say it. She is consistent in this. She wasn't half asleep. She was like half asleep. She has said it twice now on 2 separate occasions. It just sounded like a bark. We also have a caveat here, like. She cannot say it here. She cannot say, I heard him bark. It was like a bark. She cannot describe what she heard. This question is very sensitive to the subject. We must ask some logical questions here. When dogs growl, he was asking about growl. What does that indicate? It is many times associated with an intruder, a stranger, someone that the dog doesn't recognize, doesn't trust. Dogs often growl when they see or hear a stranger, someone outside, someone who they don't recognize. Growling is a part of their natural defense system, their alert system. They alert to the pack. They alert to their owners. Okay. The sergeant is asking for indications that the dog sensed an intruder. The subject cannot confirm this. We note that bark is singular. She's not saying that the dog is barking. Okay. Additionally, this may be distancing language or a drop pronoun here. It sounded like a bark, not Murphy barking, or it sounded like his bark. Okay. So this could be psychologically distancing here. Bad signs here. Okay, so you hear the firework, kind of see a spark underneath the door. Murphy barks. What did you hear after that? Tell me more about what you heard. Pretty much nothing. Okay, that's it. The sergeant is asking for more information. What did you hear after that? He is working, apparently, within her account that she's in her bedroom, focused on what she's hearing because she has the door shut. She can't see anything. A better question is, what happened from there? Oh, well, the subject gives us no more information regarding what she has heard. However, she's non-committal. She says pretty much nothing. She cannot only say simply nothing. She weakens it with pretty much. Pretty much is leakage that she heard more than simply nothing. The sergeant says, okay, and then the subject adds, that's it. The subject needs to further enforce nothing, indicating sensitivity and leakage, that she senses that nothing is weak, which indicates that she's not being truthful and there is missing information here. And that's it, speaks of finality. On its face, we would assume there's no more to the story here. That's it. So we're listening even more carefully now, if that's even possible. Nothing? Okay. And you thought maybe someone was just in the kitchen at that point? Yeah, just like someone accidentally fell into the table or something. Okay. And then she was like with Murphy. So this is a very interesting question. Yeah, would have been fine. It's a yes or no question. So you thought maybe someone was just in the kitchen at that point. Yeah. But the subject explains more all on her own. Just indicates a comparison word. Something else was on the subject's mind other than what follows it. Just. Right? Like is a caveat. She again is non-committal to the following. Someone accidentally fell. We have a change of language here as well in green. When she initially, green and yellow, when she initially brought this up, she said it like something kind of fall. And now something is someone. This is an indication of deception, first of all, into the table. Now we have some new information. The table is now introduced into the statement. This is another change of language. This may be leakage of knowledge of the crime scene. Something regarding the table may have occurred with someone. She did not mention anything about the table earlier in this account. This supports the great many indications of missing information within the analysis. 80% of deception is done by omitting and or withholding information. Okay. So she caveats it with or something. Okay. So she again is non-committal. The sergeant says, okay. And then she adds more to the statement. She was like with Murphy. This kind of blew me away. The sergeant is not told who she is. This would require interpreting to produce a name at this point. The subject did not share the name, so we won't say it for her. We also have another caveat, like with Murphy, not with Murphy. It appears that this someone is a she, looking at the phrase here in its totality. This may be leakage that she fell into the table and Murphy was like with her, right? And I say fell in quotes. This should alert investigators of physical evidence of a female victim, her blood, etc., on or around the table. Earlier, the scene was related to Ethan, okay? But that appears to be only connected by the subject explaining why she wasn't alerted to anything concerning enough to explore any of this, to go see what the noise was, call 911, etc. So she merely connected Ethan by talking about what Ethan usually does. Here, the subject is connecting the scene with a she, which a common understanding would be that this is not Ethan. The mentioning of Murphy here tempts one to speculate that this was Maddie she was thinking of, given the mentioning of taking up Murphy with Maddie earlier. However, she won't say it. So there needs to be openness here, and hopefully the subject will clear this up. Who is she? Given we have 4 victims, 3 of them female, the speculation would be primarily Kaylee, Maddie, given the association with the dog, but also Xana. Zooming out, here's a great question for us. How would she know the sex of the person in this scene? If we are just understanding this at face value, the subject was downstairs, was like half asleep, and heard a noise. But yet, she was like with Murphy. Someone. We are getting indications of scripting and deception. All right, let's go back.
Interesting.
And she was like with Murphy.
Do you know about what time that might have been? Do you have any
Like
idea?
4 or something. I tried to call all of them at like 4:20ish around that time, and no one was answering. I thought they just went to bed or something.
Okay. What happened after that?
And called me. She said she thinks she saw someone, and I didn't know like really what to think of it, because sometimes we think we hear things a lot in the house, but it's usually just Ethan walking around. But she came. I told her to come in my room, and she could sleep with me, and we could lock the door and just stay there just in case it wasn't there. And that's all I know. And fell back asleep.
You didn't hear anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No one else talking? Okay. Did
Okay. So we're going to finish up here. Do you know what time that might have been? Do you have any idea? Like 4 or something. I tried to call all of them at like 4:20ish, around that time, and no one was answering. I thought they just went to bed or something. All right, so let's see here. Come on, there we go. Excuse me. Like 4 a.m. or something. She caveats this with like and or something. So this is non-committal. I tried to call all of them at like 4:20ish around that time. Tried indicates a failed attempt. Okay. In this case, we have a failed attempt to call them. All right. So she did not say, I tried to get a hold of all of them. Right. She said, I tried to call all of them. Though there's a huge difference there. Okay. Make sure you guys can see this. All right. So who is all of them? She doesn't specify. This denotes psychological distancing. The statement right before this reflects that there was one person. Okay, that there was one person. She was with Murphy. The logical follow-up would be to call her. We have a change in language here from the focus being on her to now, to being on her to now all of them. We don't understand this flow of logic. Why did she call all of them instead of she or her, whoever that was? Now, if the evidence reflects that the subject only called the victims, this would be very revealing. If we are interpreting what the subject is saying, then we might say that the subject heard a noise and saw something while she was in her room, but didn't think much of it and went to sleep. However, she did call all her roommates before she went to sleep. There's a potential major contradiction that we're being confronted with of, on one hand, I wasn't worried about it, so I went to bed, versus I was concerned, so I called all my roommates. This is very problematic. But that aside, if in fact she called only the victims, this would be indicative that she knew all who was harmed, specifically who was harmed when she made this call, right? If she doesn't call Dylan, for example, okay, but she does call the four, this would indicate at least guilty knowledge and post-crime cover-up activity to conceal the subject's involvement. This would indicate attempts to, quote, show proof that she didn't know if they were harmed or not because she made the calls, etc. This is an important question if the only calls that were launched were to the four victims only at around this time. How could the subject argue that she knew essentially nothing but a sound upstairs and a little firework, but only called the four victims, or the four victims specifically at like 4:20-ish around that time is caveated by like-ish and around that time, indicating sensitivity regarding this time. And no one was answering. This gives the impression of multiple calls to multiple people. To contrast, no one answered would likely indicate one call per person, right? So again, what does the physical evidence reveal about the call activity? Was there simply one call to each? This information would be helpful to the case and to shed more light to the subject's statement and what she considers as no one was answering. Quote, I thought they just went to bed or something. They is not explained. Is this all the roommates? Is this the victims? This is a very important question. We will see if the subject helps clarify this. So again, went to bed or something. The subject is walking a tightrope here. Is she not concerned or is she concerned? If she's not concerned, how could you be not concerned if 4 people were murdered in the same house you were in? And how could you be not concerned if you're hearing things and your roommate is saying they saw someone? If you're concerned, why didn't you call 911? This is a tightrope. Would you, if you heard noises in another room, which sounded like someone may have fallen into a table, and you saw sparks or sparkles underneath your door, and it was at around 4 a.m., and you were concerned enough to call them all, but none of them answered, would that encourage you to simply think they just went to bed? Because that's what the subject is saying. Okay, what happened after that? Great question here by the sergeant. And look at this statement. It's a beautiful thing what a powerful question can do. And Dylan called me. She said she thinks she saw someone. And I didn't know like really what to think of it. Because sometimes we think we hear things a lot in the house. But it's usually just Ethan walking around. But she came, I told her to come to my room and she could sleep with me and we could lock the door and just stay in there just in case if there was anything. And that's all I know. I fell back asleep. There's a lot there. Okay. And Dylan called me. This is potentially very problematic for what we were talking about earlier. The subject had just communicated that no one was answering. Prior to this, and because the sergeant asked, what happened after that, we get all this information. What happens if the sergeant didn't ask this? Because all we knew is no one was answering, right? And then the sergeant asked, what happened after that? And now we're being told, oh, I got a call from my roommate. That's not good. Not a good sign. Who was no one? Okay. It appears that no one were the victims. Just to kind of go back here, no one was answering. Okay. Who's no one? The victims. That's what appears. She said she thinks she saw someone. This is caveated with she thinks. And she saw someone, which is passive, not specific. Not an intruder, not a man with a weapon, not a bad guy in our house. Simply someone. Where? Where did she see this person? Where was this person? The subject can't explain that. Was this someone outside? Inside? We don't know. Earlier, the subject said she thought everyone went to bed. Now we're being confronted with the fact that Dylan called her and also that Dylan saw someone. Going back to the concerned versus not concerned, the subject has even more of a problem. Okay, even more of a problem now that Dylan is saying she saw someone. I guess I jumped the gun here when I said that before. Oops. So this passive language makes sense, in a sense. It makes sense in a sense because she can't say, Dylan saw a scary guy with a gun. Okay, because now the question is, okay, you had all these indications that something bad was going on and you did nothing. So in a sense, it makes sense that she's using passive language here. She's being very deceptive and she knows exactly what she's doing. She's being very particular. She is walking that tightrope. There's a need to explain that this is non-threatening as possible, right? There's a need to explain this as non-threatening as possible. I didn't know really what to think of it. The sergeant is being confronted with the fact that the subject was alarmed enough to call all of her roommates because she heard a sound and saw a firework. And now Dylan is saying she saw someone. And and if we are interpreting, which we should not do, Dylan is scared enough to go down and sleep with the subject. The subject then explains why she didn't know really what to think of it. So she preempts a question. Why did you not think much of it? She explains, because sometimes we think we hear things a lot in this house. Sometimes is passive. It speaks of what usually happens, right? Or often happens. Okay? This denotes sensitivity. Here's the sergeant is confronted with a we. Okay? A we. We denotes cooperation and unity. There's cooperation and unity between the subject and Dylan here. We also have we think, which underscores the unity with the subject and Dylan. The subject is speaking on behalf of two minds and what both think sometimes. However, we are then confronted with a lot. This change of language within the same phrase. This is a change of language within the same phrase. Sometimes and a lot are two different things. This is an indication of internal stress and deception. Okay. Not only that, but when we see, we think, or we saw, or we experienced, we don't experience in the we. We don't think in the we think in the I. We don't know what other people are thinking. So that's also a signal of deception, we think. In the house, okay? Sometimes we think we hear things a lot.
What he's reading, Kathleen, is from from Bethany's interviews. This is the transcript that came from her interview. In turn, that's what he's getting all this from.
Sometimes a lot. In the house, the here is an example of psychological distancing language. Not our house, not my house. Okay? It's the house. All right. But it's usually just Ethan walking around, but refutes or minimizes what was said before it regarding hearing things. The subject is needing to explain why she continued to not think much of this event. In the process, we now have another subtle insult of Ethan walking around, making noise. Again, it's Ethan's fault, and his usual noisiness, his walking around, is why I didn't call 911, sir. It's Ethan's usual noisiness why the Idaho 4 victims didn't get timely help. But she came, I told her to come to my room, but refutes or minimizes that which was said before it. We are getting broken sentences here. This indicates, again, high internal stress and tension. Told, okay? But she came, I told her to come to my room. Told is an indication of tension. Said is soft. Told is higher intensity. My boss told me I can't. If I ever do it again, I'm fired. Okay? You don't hear, my boss said that if I do that again, I'm going to get fired. Said is soft. And we could, she could. This is another indication of internal stress and tension here, right? But she came, I told her to come to my room. And we could, she could. This, yeah. Internal stress and tension. And we could, she could sleep with me and we could lock the door. Again, now we're being confronted with the idea that the subject was concerned enough to lock the door with Dylan, but not concerned enough to do anything else. And just stay in there. Just in case she was thinking of something else. Comparing it to with staying there, something else other than staying there. There is psychological distancing language from her own room. Okay. And just stay in there. If this is her own room, where is there? This sounds like possibly somewhere else. Where's there? Just in case if there was anything. Here's the subject explaining why again. She's preempting the question. Why would y'all feel the need to lock your or the door? She preempted that question. She knew that was coming. So she explains why. The answer is just in case there was anything. Why'd you do that? Just in case there was anything? There was anything. Anything is infinite possibilities. We don't get scared of anything. This is a change of language. This is inconsistent. We get scared of some things in particular, okay? But she cannot say what she was concerned about. She couldn't say what they were scared about. She cannot say that Dylan was scared at all. She didn't say that. It can only be interpreted that way, but we won't say it for her. Again, she cannot say that either of them were scared, nor what they were scared of. We only get passive language, someone and anything. And then she finishes with pretty much, and that's all I know. Again, there is finality. Earlier she said, that's it. And here she ends with, and that's all I know. And that's all I know, so don't ask. This is almost what we're getting here. This is a signal we're getting. This indicates defensiveness and deception. She then finishes with, I fell back asleep. Right after she said, that's all I know. So there was a little bit more information. However, we are not detailed what happened once Dylan came. The subject is being clearly deceptive and uncooperative. Later, we're not going to go over it with this one, but the subject details what happened once Dylan came. So earlier she said that's it and then gave more information. Here she's saying that's all I know. Later she gives more information. The subject is being clearly deceptive and uncooperative. So he asks, you didn't hear anything else? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh is an informal no. She offers nothing else to add or give any more context. The subject is being deceptive and uncooperative, as we can see further down the statement. I said that already. The sergeant asks about what happened once Dylan got into her room. I said that already. Sorry about that. Okay, no one else is talking. No one else talking? Didn't hear a single thing. The subject drops I, her own pronoun here. Didn't hear a single thing. She cannot say, I didn't hear a single thing. She can't say it. She didn't say it. The sergeant, excuse me, did not ask if she could hear things or a single thing. He asked if she heard talking. She does not face the question head on. This is an unreliable denial here. The subject's answer indicates that the question was sensitive to her. A single thing is indicative of psychological distancing from talking from the victims. Okay. All right. So that's it. That's part 2. We still got part 3. I thought
There's a lot to this, you guys, but it tells us a lot, I think, and I appreciate it very much. I appreciate your guys' patience with it. Did anybody gather anything from part 2 of this? A lot of talking and listening and thinking and breaking down and all that. Yeah, I hope you guys gathered some it. To be basic, what I'm gathering from it is there's a lot of deceptiveness and a lot of things being hidden based on what he seems to think, which, it plays into what we've thought anyway. So, it is what it is. It's just interesting to me. It's interesting. In some aspects, I think some law enforcement officers should be trained in this as well to be able to. I think some are, but not all. But I think they all should be trained in this to be able to read this, to know this. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So, at this point, I didn't trust Bethany either. I just feel like I don't trust her even more. He's done an amazing job with these. I'm beyond grateful to him. Beyond grateful to him. He puts so much hard work into this too, you guys. It's a lot. It's not easy. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe to Travis's channel. Let him know how much we do appreciate what he does, so that he knows that what he's doing is not in vain and it's not just a waste of time. I think it's very important that we do get these things, in my opinion. Very, very interesting. Now, he did break some of these down into smaller. Something just touched me again. That weirds me out when that happens. Oh my God. Every time. Something just touched me. That was so weird. Every time. Every time. It weirds me out. Sorry, you guys. So, completely distracted me too. So, some of the smaller clips he's done, he makes Bethany respects Murphy more than the Idaho 4 victims. One of the statements he's made. Bethany, Dylan, and Lakeland anticipation. We covered that yesterday. So there's a lot. There's a lot. it's bad. Not good stuff. It's really sad that it exists the way it does with this case. Very much so. So, let me see here. Don't worry, I won't bother you guys. We won't be doing this tomorrow. No worries. It's what it seems like, E-Potty. Something was there. Exactly. There you go, Parmer. So I think that's going to do it for today. I've had you guys here 3.5 hours. It will be live tonight with Crimes After Dark. So if you're not doing nothing, pop on over there 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the additional channel we have here, Cafe Conspiracy. There'll be a lot of interesting stuff coming on that channel very soon. Why is my camera changing colors now? What's going on with this now? That's interesting. Okay. And then so make sure you guys have hold on, I'll give you the link for that one. Once again, Moto, thank you for joining me up here today. Appreciate you, buddy. We have 236 subscribers at Cafe Conspiracy so far, which is awesome. Thank you guys for all of you that did subscribe there. You guys rock and roll. I love it. Also, guys, let me double check it, but I think we've actually gained again while we were here today. Thank you guys for hitting the goal for today. You guys are amazing. As always. Ew, that's gross. Here. We are at 12,975. We need 25 more to hit 13,000, guys. Please, please, please. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. And if you know anybody else that would be interested, please have them subscribe as well, guys. Please and thank you so very much. Appreciated. Thank you to all of you that have helped us get to this point thus far. And will continue to help us keep going. Thank you so very much for all you guys do. I absolutely adore all of you. I appreciate all the moderators so very much. You have no idea. I will jump into the mod chat here after for anybody interested. And we'll see you guys very soon. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other and don't change nothing. You guys truly are the beautiful people. And I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they chose to is empty, closed for the night. We put the darkness back into the light. We'll wipe the counter, set the empty chair, and wait right here for the next secret laid bare. Until the next one.